Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio, and we are heard everywhere you go around the world on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is
Threadbare Thursday.
It's also
the most overrated holiday of the year.
Jeremy hates Halloween, and I don't get it.
It's so stupid.
What is happening right now? How can you not like Halloween?
Okay, so you break down for me why you do. What is it about
candy.
Halloween that you like? You're a
Chocolate.
grown-ass man. You can buy candy anytime. You've answered that the same way all 3 times I've asked.
I like the kids in the costumes. It's fun to see, it's wholesome entertainment.
The sitting president of the United States bit a baby in a costume last night.
Which is wrong.
I think we have officially passed the cuteness of costumes.
No, we have not. And here's the thing. He proved it. He proved that the cuteness of costumes is not dead. The problem is he was biting other people's children.
Don't be weird.
And you don't bite strangers.
You don't bite people. I mean, there is a time and place for it. It was not there.
No,
I can tell you that much.
As a father, I will say that I believe that it is fully within the rights of the parent to bite your baby every now and then.
We do not nibble on our kitty.
No, I mean, come on. Those big fat cheeks, you got just chew on them things a little bit. Hey, look.
I hated Halloween when I was a kid. I certainly hate it now.
Yeah.
Now, because I have gone through all of the stages of where Halloween is okay as in your age group.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as a kid, I hated it. I got to dress up, hang out with a bunch of kids that I probably don't want to, go to strangers' houses. Mm-hmm. We got weird Mr. Phillips down the road who you tell me to ride my bike really fast by his house, but now you want me to put me in a costume so I can go trick or treat.
Really?
That's stupid, okay?
Did you have one of those in your neighborhood?
Yeah. Oh, 100% we did. Yeah, I changed the name for all those involved. But
Herbert just hanging out on Jeremy's block. Okay.
Is that mostly on, baby?
Oh, wow. I don't believe we had one of those in the neighborhood, but anyhow.
Yeah, I didn't like it as a kid.
Which is strange. It's so strange to me because I did. Because I loved Halloween. Obviously, I got this shape for a reason, or my past shape, or I know I'm kind of in between shapes right now, but I guess we all kind of are.
I mean, you're in between shapes.
Well, I mean, from where I was, and then what I lost, and then now we're kind of back to the, we're back to the gray area.
Oh yeah, I mean, when
bit.
I first met you, you were like what's that dog? Is it Shar-Pei, the one that's got the face that's like? That was where you were when we started,
right.
And now it's like deflated windsock. I mean, it's still big. Don't get me wrong,
right?
But now there's the tautness.
There's less of me. There is less of me than there used to be. Exactly. I mean, I didn't grow to be a damn near 400-pound man by having a childhood that didn't have at least 4 or 5 trick-or-treating trips each Halloween. I mean, we loved it. We went and got the costume every year. It was like the rite of passage. Fall starts, football season, you go and get the costume, you do the whole trick-or-treating thing, and if we started early on Halloween, we would hit up the Asheville Mall. They did the trick-or-treating down there, and you go get free candy from all the stores. And then once you're done with that, you got to go see all the grandmothers and all the uncles and aunts, and everybody needs to see you in your costume, and then you hit their neighborhoods.
Okay, and see, here is where Jeremy had a problem with Halloween as a kid. And this is the old school Ronnie Reagan capitalist Jeremy. That's a lot of work for some fun-size Snickers. All right?
But it's
I
a
can
lot
go
of it.
to the Cephas on the day after Halloween and rake in all this
But
candy.
You weren't doing
for
that.
like 100%.
You weren't
I
doing
was.
that at 6 years old.
No, not at 6, but by 11, totally. Oh, yeah. The day after Halloween, that was the holiday for me.
Right.
Because that's where all the Reese Cups going right here.
Kathy would take you to the CVS
100%
and get
she
the cheap
would.
candy.
100% she would. Why do you think I grew up as smart as I am? Because I had two parents that were like, you got to work smarter, not harder. And going house to house for 2 fun-sized Snickers is not working smarter. And there's nothing fun about it. But then was the golden age. Mm-hmm. There was a golden age of Halloween. Mm-hmm. To me, the best age for Halloween is single individual between the ages of 21 and 25.
Okay.
That's as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. Because you're out doing your whatever goofy costume you go as a guy. Mm-hmm. And trust me, most of your costumes, they're goofy. And we're going to talk about that later in this show. Mm-hmm. And your goal is to find the girl that is the slutty blank. Cat, nurse, Pamela Anderson, cat. There were a lot of cats. I always found that a bit weird. Why are you slutty animal? There's a term for that, and it rhymes with bestiality. And I don't know why you're doing that, but stop doing that. Uh-huh. It's peculiar. That's the golden age. But then you get married, and now, okay, I'm through Halloween now.
Unless you're Jeremy.
And look, I'll go to a Halloween costume party with a bunch of adults. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that.
Yeah, see, I'm
good
not.
with that.
I've never done that. I've never been that. See, we had this discussion earlier about, and we might get to some sports things.
We're going to get to sports, but it's Halloween. Tank and I've been arguing about Halloween all day.
We got a lot to unpack here.
I'm running on about 40 minutes of sleep, so I'm doing my best to not say those words that the FCC
just in case
doesn't like.
It wasn't clear that we are completely two different people before this discussion. You're going to learn just how wide the divide is between me and Jeremy, because Jeremy hated Halloween, and he says he went trick-or-treating like 4 times when he was a kid.
I know my parents took me one year when I had to be carried, and I was a fat kid. So that was only good for a year.
Right.
Because nobody wants to carry the spare tire off a Ford Explorer around dressed up like a fat rooster. Now, here's another problem. Jeremy was always too big, and I had that problem like Jim Brewer of I buy the kid costume, and I'm not Batman, I'm Fat Man. Because the ears are pointing back, and I look like Pigeon Man.
Yes.
That's a problem,
right?
Because you were just wide. I was wide and tall, so Halloween costume choices were a little limited for me. I felt like that was making me feel like not a normal kid, and I didn't like that, so I just choose to not do it. Then I asked you the question that to me makes all this make the most sense.
Yes.
What age did you stop trick or treating? Because to me, there's an acceptable answer, and it doesn't end in TEEN. If your answer of I stopped trick-or-treating at I could drive a car, that's weird.
Yes. The last time I went trick-or-treating, I was 15 years old.
By the time I was 15 years old, I had already seen Tawny Katayan in that Whitesnake video, and going door to door to get candy was no better than 50th on my brain.
It wasn't even close.
I was back behind a Fiero trying to get up with the get down. Okay? Look at all the goobers in their costumes going, I don't think you have figured out that the words H and J belong in a sentence together in an order that you're not seeing it.
Yeah, no. It was all about the candy for me, obviously. And so, I think we were 15. And me and a buddy of mine he was 17. He was older than I was. And he said, "Hey, we should go get some candy," because we were at my house and the trick-or-treaters were coming by, and he was like, "Hey, we should put on these masks." We had wrestling masks, and we should go and get free candy. And I was like, "Okay, let's do that." And we went through the entire neighborhood. And the last house we went to was the last house I ever went to, because we walked up to the door and we said trick or treat, And the guy looked at us, and he said, I'm going to give you some candy, boys, but I'm going to tell you something. When you're your age and you walk up to a man's house with a mask on your face, you might get shot. And we went, okay, well, I guess we're too old to do this now.
All right, let me ask you a question. Your friend that was still trick-or-treating at 17, do I know this friend?
No, you do not.
Okay. Now, I don't say the name, and when I ask the question, you're going to know why I said don't say the name. I am going to make a guess. Over, under number of criminal trials that individual has been through. And I'm going to set the over-under at 4.5, and I'm going to say it's over.
It's none of them. It's none.
Every kid that I grew up with that was still trick-or-treating when they could drive a car, most of them have that. We don't call them by their name anymore. They are NC State inmate 09742698. Maybe that's just my experience.
That is your experience. You grew up with some weird people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. There was nothing nefarious to it. It was just two bored-ass teenagers on Halloween. We were like, let's go get some free candy. We learned a good lesson, and we never made that mistake again.
Patrick Holt also had a really good point that when it was acceptable for me to trick-or-treat, I could not ride a bicycle, so I had to walk. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I didn't learn to ride a bicycle until I was like 14 years old.
It's just the lack of, like, Jeremy, to me, grew up way too early. Reading box scores and betting lines at 5 years old is ridiculous in my mind.
I made my first official bet at 6 years old. That's a true story, and I can confirm it. I have people that will verify it.
Points for Red Sea, who says, who's surprised that giant man-baby hurricane tank Spencer loved Halloween as a kid? Of course, I am still like a giant kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tank's still Hurricane Tank Spencer.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
No doubt.
For sure. And that's where the difference is. Polyester Tank had not arrived on the scene yet because he didn't start wearing aqua velva and trying to get up with the get down until he was 24.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, I was already on my second divorce by that time.
It's a little younger than that, but
not as much younger as you wanted to be.
Probably think.
She still started with a 2, folks.
Anyhow, welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is a Threadbare Thursday. Anything?
The comments in this opening diatribe have been hilarious,
and none of them could be read online.
Matthew Hoffman said that's too many numbers for an inmate number in North Carolina. That is, I feel like that's points for you as well.
I give him a little ding for that.
No doubt. Look, we're grown up people. We can talk about kid stuff. The funny thing is, I was not a kid I'm more of a kid now than I was when I was a kid.
I can fully see
I've gone like Benjamin Button. Mm-hmm. I started at 37 paying alimony, trying to bet the ponies, and trying to get up with the get down. Now I'm like a grown child that eats chicken nuggies and pizza and scared of birds and the government.
But here's the thing. So when I was 15, I think since that time, I've worn 2 Halloween costumes since I was 15 years old and decided my trick-or-treating days are over. Because to me, that's a bit ridiculous. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't denigrate anybody because I love the Halloween. I love the holiday. And I like seeing people get the enjoyment out of it. But dressing up was something that left me long ago. Like, you just trick-or-treat in a different way. I mean, you're trick-or-treating for shots at the bar with your lovely wife. And there's something to be said for that. My wife looked at me one year and she goes, we never dress up for Halloween. Should we dress up for Halloween this year? And I went, why ruin a good thing? Why
don't fix it.
I feel like we should just strive for Cal Ripken Iron Man streak here. Let's just let's just not do this ever.
See, and me, now I will do it as an adult, go to an adult Halloween party, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
If you were going to wear a costume this year, what would it be?
Oh, man.
Because for me, this is the easiest, no doubt.
What is it?
Oh, it's P. Diddy costume. No doubt. and I would just have duffel bags of baby oil. That would be the whole costume. Like, I didn't actually do anything else. I wore my sunglasses at night, and I have 7 duffel bags full of baby oil.
Well, see, I would be the guy. I would be the guy at the bar dressed up like the guy from the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. Just blue man.
Oh, and I wouldn't even know what you were doing. Are you dressed as a green screen? Like, what is that?
The blue guy that I said looked like you from the opening of the Olympics.
Let me be totally honest with you. Any answer that you gave right there, if it was in a singlet or a unitard or any of those things, you're wrong. Do not do that.
No, this had no clothes. It was just a loincloth. Just painted blue with the loincloth. That's what I would do.
Or I would go as a hanging Chad.
That's old though. That's an old joke.
Yeah, but I mean everything else retro is it's coming back. Go as Al Gore and just every person that I saw lockbox.
I would go as cool guy Tim Walls with my pet horse. You're in the Sportsocracy. Election day is and Election day is coming. If you have not done so yet, just want to remind everybody, if you feel so inclined to exercise your privilege to vote, then you absolutely should do that by next Tuesday.
You also have a privilege to throw super chats into our comments, and Red Sea has done that 2 times.
2 times? Is it twice or just once?
No, it's twice.
Oh, it's twice. Okay. Well, you got to turn that one on. There you go. One job.
Here we go.
There's my costume. Jeremy holds up the one job. I still want somebody to go as me for Halloween. That's when I will officially know I have made it. I dressed up as Corey Short one year for Halloween.
Did you?
Oh, top 3 best costumes ever. We still laugh about that.
Nice.
First one said, hey, look, the guys are still employed after Hurricane Tank Wednesday yesterday. We are. And everybody said nice things. So apparently you have set the bar so low for us that we still managed to crawl over it yesterday. And for that, we appreciate you.
Yes.
And then one more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Tank's Halloween costume has to be Dude Love.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Oh, because you do have that Mick Foley build.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I need something blousy. Right. The last time I dressed up for Halloween in high school, I dressed up as Big Van Vader, and the Irwin High singlet really didn't do much for
You're
anybody.
a man that should never. You're the words Tank Spencer and spandex should never be in the same sentence.
No, sir.
Ever. Gave myself a cold chill on that one.
It's all for the laugh.
Oh, for sure. And now we're going to talk about football things because that's what we do.
Yes.
The NBA has proven, ratings on that have not started off.
No, it's been a very rough start for that. We got Thursday night football coming up tonight. We will talk about the Jets and the Texans.
Do we have
at some point in the program today? Give you our full preview. Jeremy will give you his picks for the night as well.
Oh, you want me to? I can totally kill that segment right now. Houston Texans by a lot because they shouldn't be a dog, and they are. And you could tell me George Jetson was playing quarterback for the Houston Texans, I would still take them minus the 2.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you're in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, Go to hims.com/joy.
If you like my corny dad jokes, then you need to go see Dr. Rebecca Merrill at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. I sat down with her the other day, and she had me laughing. And y'all, that is the environment that they create at Asheville Smiles. You're going to feel relaxed. It's like a family when you go there. They want to make sure that you are comfortable during whatever procedure, whatever process you have to have done. With general family dentistry, as well as Invisalign orthodontics, with free Invisalign consultations. Also, they do Botox, fillers, sleep apnea screenings, which are also free. Read more online at AshevilleSmiles.com.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you are in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yes, it is Halloween. It is a festive day today. We're kind of feeling more festive than I thought I would be at this juncture, but trying to make the most of it here in Western North Carolina. See, you got your new Hurricane Helene Pray For Us t-shirt on. I like those. Our buddy Chris Henderson of the 570 WWNC. What was it? The Minutemen. What did we call them? The
Wellness Check.
The Minutemen Wellness Check guys that were out reuniting families during our 3 weeks on the air during Hurricane Helene. He brought those shirts over to us yesterday. So shout out to Chris and all the good that the Henderson family keeps doing around the mountains of Western North Carolina to help us get back on our feet. And don't forget to keep those donations pouring in at UnitedWay.org. The big Hurricane Helene United Way relief concert is coming up Saturday night. You will see my face on the broadcast at some point with Mark Starling. Found out this morning as well that so there were 2 sessions of this thing happening. We were at the Nashville sessions. Meanwhile, like the Backstreet Boys and some other big names were out in Vegas doing it. So it's going to be a big to-do on Saturday night at 8 o'clock on CBS across the nation. You can get it online at Paramount Plus as well.
If you could have introduced any act,
yes,
and you had your choice, who would it have been?
Any act of anybody in the world.
The guy you get to meet and like hang out with for a few minutes.
Post Malone. It would be Post Malone. I would love to hang out with Post Malone.
See, mine's
such
cool.
A cool guy.
Mine's cool because I'm actually friends with my answer.
Luke.
Yeah. I actually know that guy.
Yeah. I could see that. But after seeing him at the concert for Carolinas, or concert for Carolina, Billy Strings is now on my list, and he's coming back to Asheville in February, and me and Billy Strings are going to do karate in the garage. I've decided.
I want me and James Taylor to do karate in the garage.
I think you'd win, though. I don't think that's
we're not
fair.
doing karate against each other. It's just simultaneous karate, and we both have on the hat that he had on during the concert because I want one of those hats real bad.
All right, we got a super chat.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Comes from Soaring Eagle. He says, being on Election Day this year, I want to see, he's talking about the trade deadline in the NFL. Since it's on Election Day this year, he wants to see the Moscow Russian nesting dolls are trading Vladimir Putin to the Dallas Cowboys for 50 E. coli-ridden quarter-pounders. That's a nice little roundup of the headlines there,
I was
brother.
about to say, that is a dude that has paid way closer attention to news services than I have.
I like it. See, we got a smart audience here as well who likes their dumbassery during the lunchtime.
And we like that.
Okay, so did we have any football questions in the chat during the break here?
We had one from Matt who asked about the Denver Broncos. If they managed a win over the Baltimore Ravens, where would you have them power ranked after this week?
Oh, dear.
I think that is a formidable question.
That is a pretty formidable question. At that point, I mean, that makes them
We did not do power rankings this week.
We did not. That makes them 6-3. But I mean, this would be the first good team that they beat. I mean, I know that they beat the crap out of the Bucs, but that was just, I mean, Todd Bowles does Todd Bowles things.
You said good team. That has nothing to do with Tampa Bay.
Well, at the time, though.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, you just believed in them, which actually made it more likely.
And then you got the Jets and the Raiders and the Saints and the Panthers. There's not a win there that really makes you go, damn, this team's real good. Okay, you might be the best worst team in the NFL. Of course, I didn't see the Ravens losing to the Cleveland Browns last week, but that also kind of plays into you're going to get your feelings hurt. They just got embarrassed by Jameis Winston. Do you think that the Baltimore Ravens, or do you think that the Broncos are good enough to mitigate what they're coming into?
My answer is very simple. If they were to beat the Ravens this week, I would put the Broncos where everybody else had them this week. I went to CBS because CBS is usually the one where I go. We had crimes lit in that office as we were doing these power rankings, right? They had them at 13. I would be somewhere in that ballpark with a win over the Ravens.
I mean, you'd have to give them their flowers.
Now, let this be known. I genuinely think there's a better chance of me going trick-or-treating tonight than the Broncos beating the Ravens in Baltimore. Do you know what the spread on that game is?
No, I do not.
Take a stab at it. Denver in Baltimore, 1 o'clock kick. No weather, perfect weather, 60-ish degrees and clear.
Baltimore minus 7.5.
More.
9.5.
9.5. And I'll take Baltimore. I didn't think about it.
My first thought was 9.5, and then I thought, no, that's gonna be too high. Apparently not.
Nope. Yeah. And just remember what I say about double-digit spreads in the NFL. That's reserved for good teams playing bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what I just said.
Yep. That is just a big enough spread to be, you might be the best of the bad teams. But you're not one of the good ones.
Hey, and this year, that's fine. Because in power rankings, it's hard for me to not have the Eagles somewhere around the top 10, and I think they are B-A-double-D bad.
Mm-hmm. Evan Doyle asked, Jeremy, do you know how many in-season trades the Bengals have made in franchise history?
I'm going to go with 0.
It
can't be 0.
Oh, you think he knows the answer?
No, it can't be 0 because they traded Carson Palmer in season.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the Raiders in season. So they've made at least one. I cannot think of another one.
Dunlap? Didn't Carlos Dunlap get traded mid-season to Seattle?
Maybe.
It's the only one I could think of.
Maybe. The report is out that the Bengals do not have any intention of making moves around the trade.
No move.
Which is shocking to me. You are correct. So they have, wow, that's the two.
Those are the only two that they've done.
They traded Carlos Dunlap to Seattle in 2020 for a 7th-round pick and B.J. Finney.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the 2011 trade of Carson Palmer to the Raiders. That's the only two trades they've ever made in the season.
Okay. And they've already stated that they're not going to do anything at this trade deadline. Interesting.
Wow. That feels like an error in judgment.
Well, I mean, you gotta determine at this point, are you a buyer or are you a seller? Or are you just standing pat for next year?
You know what that tells me? That the receiver market's so killed that they asked around about T. Higgins and they found out that you're not going to get better than the 3rd-round comp pick that you'll get a year from now when he walks away in free agency. If a team would give you a 4 right now, that's better than a 3 a year from now. That means nobody was going to do it.
Yep.
And I'm not surprised by that.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We've got 3 daily drafts today.
We're here for you. This is a Halloween spectacular.
So we've got best candy.
And that one will be quick.
Jeremy wants to do the best movies, the best Halloween scary movies.
And that's the one that I'm definitively going to tell you, I am going to smoke you like a deli meat. You told me, too, before the show that I went, I don't think either one of those would be in my top 100.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't spoil it.
Your taste in Halloween movies is just as bad as your taste in music.
Oh, I'm going to crush you in this. I am going to crush you in this.
And that's what a lie sounds like. We're also going to get into...
Tank's going to have, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Halloween. I bet that's his 5th pick. He has a lot of hubris for a guy that's picked movies that no one's ever heard of. I got Emmett Otter. Is that the name of the one at the Nature Center? What is an Emmett Otter?
You still can't get past that, can you?
I'll never get past that. So much hubris of I'm going to win Christmas movies, and I wind up with Die Hard and
which is not a Christmas movie.
Batman Returns,
which is not a Christmas movie,
and all of the best.
It disqualified in the first 2 picks. So
and all of the best Christmas movies of all time. And Tank comes at me with a Polytronic otter with a jug band and a banjo.
Polytronic.
That's what those are. The only reason I know that's because I interviewed at Chuck E. Cheese when I was 16. That's what the little machines called.
It wasn't mechanical. They were marionettes.
Oh, so you had puppets.
Yeah.
You went puppet.
It's Jim Henson, of course.
Oh, yeah, but they were marionettes. The Kermit, he has a hand in his keister. Like,
yeah, they were both. You had some that were puppets and some that were marionettes.
Best Christmas movie of all time. I got Jim Henson's Lesser Works. And he thinks he won.
It's a killer. And also, what was the other? Oh, yeah, banned Halloween costumes. Costumes that we just shouldn't do anymore. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With sun breaking through this afternoon and winds up from the south, a high should hit 74. And then for trick-or-treaters venturing out for Halloween tonight, a partly cloudy sky, winds will diminish, and overnight the low should drop down to 56. Clouds will increase on Friday with an isolated shower a possibility as the high hits 74. And then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures each day should reach the low 70s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by NC Medicaid for more people.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually
see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And Jeremy, there was a story today from college football. There's big scandal happening.
Uh-oh. So did somebody put money in McDonald's bags again?
No, it wasn't that kind of scandal. Now it's a cheating scandal. We got another cheating scandal. They're digging up shades of Connor Stallions here, where apparently some of the Big 12 are upset, including Texas Tech athletic director Kirby Hocutt. Hocutt? How do you say his name? Hocutt? Anyway, the athletics director at Texas Tech is very upset because he thinks that people may be listening in to the communications between the coaches and the quarterback's helmet, because they found out that they're not on encrypted,
which is the most
signals.
That's the most NCAA thing I've ever heard.
So the company that provides the service, the telecom service between coaches and the helmets, is the same one that does the NFL. The NFL's frequencies are encrypted. So you can't get into you can't tap into the frequencies to overhear what's happening. Well, they've found out that apparently whatever deal the Big 12 has with this group called GSC, that they haven't encrypted the lines. And so now it's, oh my God, somebody could be listening. I mean, I guess the potential is there for that. Well, now everybody knows it, so they're going to try it. It's kind of are you really concerned about this? Should you be that concerned about this?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you think that they would come in and try to figure out your frequencies to read your?
Oh, for sure.
To read your play calls?
Oh, for sure. That not being on an encrypted signal? Mm-hmm. Oh, no doubt. It's crazy. Just comical to me the NCAA would put it on a non-encrypted signal. It's really not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
They had to collect all of the headwear and send it back for an update. That was it. End of message.
That was the end of it.
Yeah, that's all they had to do for this to not be a problem.
Okay. I mean, I looked at that and went, I don't really. I guess I wouldn't think that people would go to the lengths of that. How would you even discover that? Are you using, is the other team coming in with scanners trying to pick up your signals? I don't know that they would. Just because they can doesn't mean they did, I guess is my point. Because we had another one of these stories, a story like this, in the political world where in Colorado, they posted up like a spreadsheet about the voting machines in Colorado. And apparently they didn't realize that they also posted in the spreadsheet, there was a hidden tab that had all of the passwords to get into the voting machines. And it was a hidden tab in this document. Anybody could have unhidden it. Did they? Would they? Is this election interference? I don't know. Just because you can doesn't mean somebody did.
My outside story, it will be quick and pretty painless because it's really funny and it comes from the world of NASCAR.
Okay.
If you had to take a guess at the most popular merchandise for the year of 2024 in NASCAR, who would you say the winner was?
Say that again?
The driver that sold the most trackside merchandise in the year of 2024.
Uh-huh.
Who is it?
Boo, I don't know. Probably like Ryan Blaney.
I would have thought it was Chase Elliott.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know the names in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that I know their actual ranking is the one that finishes number 1.
Okay.
And it's not Ryan Blaney and it's not Chase Elliott. I'll give you another crack at it. Nope. He actually was not in the top 10, which kind of surprised me.
That is kind of shocking. Is he an old guy?
Uh-huh.
Is it Hamlin?
Uh-uh.
Is it Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
It's Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhart Jr. So this is a story we didn't talk about. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got the rights to the number 8, his number 8, back from Teresa Earnhardt.
Okay.
She's the one that runs DEI.
Right.
Not that DEI, the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. She let lapse. She had the rights to it. They fought this out in court aggressively. Apparently, Teresa Earnhardt's not the nicest person you've ever dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my opinion. I don't know her. She never wronged me.
Stories have been out there for years.
I've heard a lot of stories in the last chasing this story down.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Dale Earnhardt got the rights to the number 8 back 2.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you think he sold in new merchandise?
In 2.5 weeks?
You had to print it.
Yeah.
He just got the rights back 2.5 weeks ago. How much money has he netted in that time?
$4 million.
You're too high.
3.
That's way too high
$2
for
million.
NASCAR.
I don't know.
He made over $600,000 in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's pretty good.
For a car that hasn't run in 15 years. Easily.
Still the most popular driver, though.
The part of this that shocked me, where do you think he was before the Budweiser merchandise?
Oh, and how much he sold? I don't know.
He was 4.
He was at 400,000?
He was at number 4 overall. He was the 4th most popular NASCAR driver. He hasn't driven a car in 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was still 4.
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR, look, I mean, I don't claim to be the best marketing guy, but I am a marketing guy. That should tell you every problem you have boiled into one little one-liner. Who are your 4 most popular drivers? Dale Earnhardt Sr., who hasn't driven in 25 years. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who hasn't driven in 9. Jeff Gordon, who hasn't driven in 10. And Chase Elliott.
Woo!
Wee! I think we need to work on developing some stars, fellas, because you don't seem to be doing it so hot. Because there were a couple names on that list that I went, are you screwing with me? I'm not sure that's actually I don't know what
Do
a
you
Ryan.
still have the list in front of you?
I don't know what a Ryan Preece is, but that feels like a name that was created in college football 25 for a running back that I'm just hurting your feelings with now.
Ryan Preece. He was in the top 10?
No, it's just the name I saw.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, do you have the list in front of you still? What was the list?
I can get it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to know who's in the top 10 of this. Because I would have to imagine that Blaney and Logano would be up there. Elliott's obviously sky high.
Elliot was, I believe, 2.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Okay, this is the list of guys that I have. This is in no particular order.
Okay.
Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Joey Logano. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was 11.
Look, good brands never die.
Sign.
Good brands never die.
Oh, no.
And when you got, heck, I was at the Country Music Hall of Fame last week, and they had a giant Dale Earnhardt Sr. jacket that Luke Combs was wearing. Like, guys still wear that stuff. I still wear my Bud jacket.
Marty Smith was wearing a Dale Earnhardt Sr. jacket at the concert for Carolinas, which I thought was super cool.
Oh, that's right, he was. I forgot about that.
Hey, look, I'm still not above going 17 fireballs deep and doing it for 3. Three's up, baby. Why are you holding 3 in there? You got tears in your eyes. Thinking about Dale.
Yeah.
Praising Dale and praising Dale. Let's
go.
Right.
Are we going to give this? Are we going to give this daily draft a shot here?
For sure.
Daily draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. These are the costumes that we just shouldn't anymore.
And these drafts, we only get 4 picks each.
Okay.
So we just go back and forth, 4 picks each.
Okay.
I'll give you number 1 pick.
You giving me number 1 pick. Okay, I'm going...
and these are Halloween costumes that should be put on conversation probation forever. They're played out. They're tired. Stop doing it. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm giving you number 1 pick because I'm giving you a crack at getting the most obvious answer on the board.
Yes, my most obvious answer on the board is non-movie quality superhero costumes.
Nope, that's too broad.
All of them. Just all of them.
Although, you know what? I'll give you that.
Right, like I unless it's movie quality, unless you're wearing like the actual, a replica of the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool uniform or whatever, Wolverine, whoever.
You mean like has the plastic face mask with the rubber band in the back?
Nope, we're not doing that anymore. If you do that, it's lazy as hell and you get kicked out of the costume contest. Like, stop doing that. I get that those things are expensive, but unless you're willing to go through the expense, try to do something funny. Because nobody thinks it's funny that you showed up. I mean, unless you actually show up in like a 4T costume you're 6'7".
It is okay to wear those superhero costumes.
Ironically.
As long as you can say your age to the half year and not be judged.
Yes.
If you're 8.5, you rock that Spider-Man costume, little Peter Parker.
Yes, sir.
You live your dream.
No doubt.
Because you're going to grow out of that bad boy in 15 seconds.
This is only for adults.
That.
Yeah.
If you're 37.5, you are not allowed. And I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Some dude showed up to the party looking like he was wearing a giant red sock. Go away. He had like marker around the eyes like, I'm Deadpool. No, you're not. No, you're not. Put those rulers away.
No, the only thing dead is your sex life, bro. There's the Deadpool. When will he convert the red zone? The answer is never.
Yep.
And we actually can't cash in on this as long as he walks this earth.
Yep.
All right, so upon thinking about how this should go, since we're doing 4 picks, we should go you, me, you, you, me, you.
Sure.
And it's the most fair. It's a full snake draft.
Okay.
And I'm going to beat you unequivocally right here. I don't have to make my last 2 picks.
Okay.
Heath Ledger Joker, you're done.
What?
You're done.
What?
We've been doing it for 15 years.
So
it's beyond it. The Jets put out a Joker thing this morning. Okay? We've had 3 Jokers since then. Stop it. The television series gonna have one, and yeah, we have. He's still the best one.
Yes.
But see, we've gotten to this point where nobody does it well, so now you look like Tammy Faye Baker if she did her makeup without a mirror, and we do it every year, and it's, hey, look at the creepy guy from Sales who's got his hair that just looks like it's his usual hair, and it's wet now, and he's wearing gloves that looks like he's about to bury a body, and a big purple jacket, and his makeup is freaking me out. Stop doing that. Every time I see somebody in that costume, I just immediately want to walk up to them and go, "What? But how? How did you get to that? How is this movie that has been out for literally 15 years? How is that your selection? I don't get it."
Mm-hmm.
And my second one is Harley Quinn.
Okay.
The blue and pink hair, what's her, Margot Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
That version. Stop doing that. That movie's been out for quite some time, and I can't say what I want to say right here, but I can put it in the chat, and I'm gonna. I see women doing that now for like the 4th year in a row. And I can get down with doing it maybe once.
Mm-hmm.
I think that movie's still so new that you can get by with doing it one time. On time 3, now I'm just looking around going, you are that girl that dates our friend, and all of us talk about, man, I hope they break up soon. Because she is going to set him on fire in his house.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to drown him in a bucket of water because she is Looney Tunes.
Okay.
And I feel like I've won. I honestly feel, I so feel like I have just mic dropped, and we're done.
And I don't understand how.
Because I said what you're all thinking.
No, you didn't.
You look at those terrible Joker makeups.
If you do those well.
But nobody does. But
That's
nobody
not
does.
True. That's not true.
Nobody
You ain't
does.
never been at a Halloween party and dude walks in with movie quality Joker purple suit.
But nobody does that. Nobody does that. As a man that goes to a lot of adult Halloween parties, nobody does that. And I'm going to go to the chat now to say what I wanted to say.
Oh, dear.
Away!
Oh, dear. Good night. Yeah, that I was not expecting Joker and Harley out of that. I mean, is it just because you're too close to it, or you're just tired of the half-assery?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. You're not doing do it gooder than you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just throw a little bit of spray out color in your hair and go ponytails and let your inner psycho come out. That's not a Halloween costume. That's just you letting your inner Elizabeth out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm tired of seeing is hot dogs or any kind of food. Really, just if your plan for Halloween is to go as the hot dog in the bun, or I don't know, the giant sprig of broccoli, or I feel like I've just seen those costumes every year, and it's always the same guy that's wearing it. It's like, Kevin from accounting who thinks he's being funny, and we're all just like, you really shouldn't have wasted that. In fact, Kevin, you probably shouldn't even come to this party. Like, nobody asked you to. We had to post it in the break room because OSHA said so.
We're not allowed to have a party and you not be invited.
I mean, what is this, the Boston City Council?
You're talking about the guy that, look at you, Timely. The guy that shows up as a pickle. Like, I'm a pickle.
No doubt. Like, any food, lazy costume like that, because it's always the same thing. Dude's just like, he's wearing normal clothes underneath it, puts that on for 15 minutes, and then takes it off, and because his girlfriend made him wear it. So, for me, it's hot dogs or pickles or any kind of abnormally large food. And then I believe I got to go beer costumes. If you're just showing up as a beer mug, I mean, does that fall into the same category as the last one?
I'll allow it.
Because I'll just take food and drinks, please. Again, use some imagination rather than just going, hey, I want to go as a beer can.
I'll allow it. I've seen very few people do food, and I've seen less people do beer. And I can think of one guy I've ever seen that showed up dressed as a beer can, and he had a cowboy hat made out of a beer box.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately looked at that guy and went, that is the only person in this room that has a shot of running up a bar tab that's even in the ballpark of mine. Because I'll bet you that dude is about to drink 27 Natural Lights. And we're going to see a side of him that he did not expect to be seen in public tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You left me my 3 and my 4.
Okay.
professional athletes dressing up as them because you wore their jersey.
Yeah.
That's wearing
lazy.
a jersey, and it's lazy, and stop it.
Yep.
I saw so many Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Now, if it's the dude dressed as Taylor Swift and the girl dressed as Travis Kelce, I'll allow it. But just a dude going, hey, look how pretty my girlfriend is. I'm Travis Kelce. She's Taylor Swift. Yeah, you're as basic as she is, and it shows. Mm-hmm. And my final one, and this, it was going to be mine. I just didn't quite know how to say it. And then somebody said it in the chat, and of course the chat just crashed on me. When girls just go cat ears and eyeliner as the whiskers and call her good.
Oh, yeah, lazy cat lady.
Yeah. Look,
yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Lazy cat lady's even better.
Mm-hmm.
What are you? I'm a cat. No, you're a basic white girl with cat ears and mascara on your face.
If you want to kick that costume up a notch, just put an I voted sticker on it. We all know.
I love New Tank. I do. I love New Tank.
I feel like this day's going well for me.
I love New Tank. I don't know what happened to you. Like, New Tank showed up about a year and a half ago. We all knew it. Nobody talked about it, but he didn't really come out on air. Then we come back from 24-hour news coverage, and Tank's just like, I don't care anymore. I'll say what I want.
We've been through some stuff.
I say what I want when I want. If you don't like it, that's fine.
All right, and then my final one. I haven't even seen this costume yet, but I know that everybody who's going out tonight is going to run into at least 4 or 5 of these, and it's Ray Gun from the Olympics.
Oh.
The Australian, I guarantee you, if you were to go out tonight, bounce around town, party to party, you're going to see 4 or 5 of those. And that is probably the quickest played out costume of all time. Because you'll never be able to make that reference again.
No, that's played out now.
Right. Like I said, I haven't even seen it, and I'm tired of it.
I think if you wear that costume, you have to dance terribly the whole night just to embarrass yourself further.
By the way, on every list I've looked at, it's like 2 or 3 most popular costume for this year. And I'm already,
I think the algorithms for me are different because my most popular are like the Menendez brothers, P. Diddy. I think we are getting way different lists. Google 100%. Has figured out who it's talking to.
Oh, no doubt. The algorithm knows you like weird stuff.
We have a couple super chats to hit on the other side of the break.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Who will be crowned king of the court? Find out at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Opt in, get a daily NBA Profit Boost token. Pick a pregame NBA player prop to boost to lead the league that night in points plus rebounds plus assists and win a share of $1 million in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One NBA prop bet profit boost per customer. Tokens expire at the start of the final NBA game each day when offered. Use token on PRA Stat Leader to receive equal share of $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 168 hours. Additional wagering restrictions apply. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With sun breaking through this afternoon and winds up from the south, a high should hit 74. And then for trick-or-treaters venturing out for Halloween tonight, a partly cloudy sky, winds will diminish, and overnight the low should drop down to 56. Clouds will increase on Friday with an isolated shower a possibility as the high hits 74. And then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures each day should reach the low 70s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by NC Medicaid for more people.
My name's Kate Roper. I had a tumor removed from my left ear, and I just enrolled in NC Medicaid. It's probably saving my life.
See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Get your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, and you can also throw in your questions for this Threadbare Thursday, anything football-related that you would like for us to talk about, touch on, answer a question, whatever. You can throw that into the YouTube chat. And, of course, you always have the ability to send us money in Super Chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
We always appreciate those. We start with one Halloween costume related after we said all the costumes that should be on Conversation Probation. Matthew Hoffman saying all of the women below the Vicky Mendoza line, which is the hot crazy scale. You're below the line there with the craziness. Thinking it's hot. You should just stop because you're not Margot Robbie. She's what made that look as it did.
Yes.
Well, see, here's the thing. Margot Robbie could wear a burlap sack. And you seen Wolf of Wall Street? Because I have.
You seen that Babylon movie? I don't even know what it was about.
I just didn't care.
Watched it and went, yeah.
I was this close to watching the Barbie movie, and that should tell you everything you need to know.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not. My wife made me watch it. Well, I mean, you know, hey, you watch a movie with me? Sure. Barbie movie. Guess.
You've been married way too long for that to still be happening. Like, you gotta set a boundary, bro.
Look, she says you want to go snuggle and watch a movie. I'm like, I'm 42 years old. Hell yeah, let's go snuggle. See if, you know.
See how many times
where this goes.
See how many times I can clear my throat.
Excuse me. Are we done with this movie yet? Or no? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
For sure. Oh, I'm serious. We got another super chat.
Yes, we do.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And I'm doing these in the order of non-sports things to sports things so we can talk about the sports things. Red Sea, the algorithm just further proving the difference between Tank and Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a profile that we all have that is your internet search history and all those things, and it's what your religion is and your political affiliation and all those things. And Tank and I are super similar on page 1. Then you get to page 2, and she takes a hard right turn of, wow, that guy's he is on a no-fly list somewhere, because that's all terrifying. And then there's Jeremy.
That was, yeah.
I mean, you, at some point, search the Barbie movie. So, trust me, I would say even the algorithm's looking at you going, you're just a walking contradiction, aren't you? You're just
Slipknot, Barbie movie. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this guy's all over the place.
Sabrina Carpenter,
My
Sabrina
algorithm
the
can't
Teenage
figure out
Witch.
My algorithm can't figure out which way I'm going.
Sometimes you leave your computer locked in, and I'll just search random crap just to confuse it.
Oh,
further.
nice. Wonderful. Wait a minute. All right, and then?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Sir Jimothy said he is pulling for, I'm not going to tell that joke on the radio, Penn State this week. You can assume what they're called.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling that this is the week we see what Ohio State really is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're very good. I think Ohio State is the New York Jets of college football. You assembled this super high-price roster, and you can beat the smoke off of Marshall. You didn't look all that impressive against Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I get it was on the road. You had a shot to win late. You had a lot of things bounce your way. You had a touchdown that was not a touchdown. That was just, here, you have this. We don't even want to review it. It's fine. And I think Penn State is one of those teams that you're just constantly going to look at and go, but they can't score.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're seeing them really for what they are. Penn State's good. 3.5 is disrespectful at home because that place is going to be raucous.
Are they whiting that out?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
The whiteouts are
those
sure
are
great.
You're
I would
gonna,
love to be
you're
at
gonna hear
Beaver
Mo
Stadium
Bamba,
for a whiteout.
You're going to hear Mo Bamba a bunch of times. And there are going to be a bunch of co-eds that are treating this as their Halloween, and they are going to be properly libated and loud.
I hope it happens.
There will be a whole section of that stadium that I'm just going to call, "Where's Kelly?" We came together, we leave together. For sure.
How old is Kelly? And call his parents.
And I'll guarantee you they're going to have cat ears with the little
Shouldn't be
thing.
walking around this town alone. We got another super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And this one's Soaring Eagle with the deep dive on the Cincinnati Bengals. Said going back to the Bengals in-season trades, they almost had a third-round pick for A.J. McCarron, sending him to the Browns, but the Cleveland Factory of Sadness went full Cleveland Factory of Sadness and never notified the league before the deadline. I would say that's probably top 5 smartest moves the Cleveland Browns have ever made. We agreed to give you a third-round pick for A.J. McCarron, and they went to the league. They drew up the paperwork, and they went, "Did you read this? You meant like a third-round XFL pick for A.J. McCarron because he was never good at football. But that is true. They had that deal was done, and Cleveland just went, forgot. Didn't tell anybody. We just thought you'd send him here and like be friends.
We had a question in the chat on this Threadbare Thursday about coaches on the hot seat and who will replace them.
Oh, that's an
Well, feel like after Dennis Allen loses to the Carolina Panthers
for
this
sure.
week.
Clint Kubiak will replace him for the rest of the season. They will win exactly 2 more games. One of them probably the week after they fire Dennis Allen.
Although Derek Carr will play. So,
did you see his comment?
No.
When they were he said, "I'm not a savior."
Who said you were?
No one ever.
Right.
But he felt the urge to say that, which tells me that in those practices, he's looking around going, "Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, I'm going to get killed." There's a shot that Jadeveon Clowney or whatever pass rusher the Carolina Panthers throw out there is going to hit me so hard that I wake up back in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are going to hit me so hard, I travel back in time, and I'm back with Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. I don't think I mean, I guess that is his way of saying, look, yes, I'm going to play this week, but it ain't going to get much
No,
better.
we're still bad.
Don't expect a whole lot out of this.
This
Although,
team is still bad.
They can beat Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers.
Tay said he was talking about it was a reference to God. It was not taken out of context because he said, "I'm not a savior," and then figured, I watched the clip.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what he did because I talk on the radio for 3 hours a day, and I'm not going to lie to you. I've done that before where I said something and went, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I went, oh, God, stop. Okay, tap dance. Let's dance and make this a thing that it's not. And that's exactly what he did. Because what he was saying is, yeah, we will be better with me than we were with Spencer Rattler. It is not going to change things. And, yes, he is super religious. I'll give him credit. I know what he was doing, and he made that tap dance look as seamless. He might have taken your role as the transition king because he never even made the face where he went, oh, crap. He just danced right into it. I watched that like 3 o'clock this morning and went, just, Derek Carr, you have a future in radio, bro. Because you can say the dumbest thing humanly possible and you just danced yourself right out of it.
Dennis Allen is one. Who's number 2 on the hot seat list? Is it Doug Peterson?
I feel like Jacksonville's resigned to what they are,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just going to roll over and die. So that probably happens outside of the season. Brian Daboll feels pretty high.
But is that a midseason change?
It depends on how bad it goes. If you keep setting records for did you see the stat about the touchdown scored in MetLife Stadium?
No, what was it?
Notre Dame scored 7 in one game. The New York Jets have scored 5 in 4 games. The Giants had scored 1 in 3 games in MetLife going into the weekend. That's pathetically bad. You're an offensive guy. That keeps being that bad, I could see it happening in season. But as for who would be my 2, Kevin Stefanski is the one that is like on the tip of my tongue. Because you got the Jameis bump this week. You're not going to get the Jameis bump every week because he's still Jameis Winston.
Right.
And if I see one more person say, you had that sitting on your bench, give that time.
Just wait.
Just give it a minute.
He's
look,
like Baker. He has good games, but there are games where he's going to throw 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions for 201 yards.
Jameis Winston is Baker Mayfield with talent and astigmatism. There's no doubt in my mind. I watch those two play and I go, man, Jameis Winston looks like what people tell me Baker Mayfield is. Oh, and there it is. Cover 3, he read cover 2, and that safety was just sitting there ready to.
Yep.
He could have fair caught that interception. I almost said Todd Bowles, too.
I don't think I mean, it could get there. I mean, if they lose the next 5 games in a row, it could get there. But
the thing for in-season changes is that you have to take in the reason teams make a mid-season change is that they think the season is still salvageable. If not, then you really wouldn't rearrange the things because there's more that goes into that than people think. And you start restructuring things organizationally really for no reason. And the wheels could absolutely come tumbling off. I think that's where the Jets are right now.
They could, depending on how the next two games go. We've got the Chiefs on Monday Night Football at Arrowhead this week.
That ain't going to be fun.
Precisely, which screams to me just hammer time. And then if it's embarrassing the next week against the San Francisco 49ers, fire him. If you get blown out in the next two games, fire him on the spot, because guess what you can do? After that, you go Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. All of those games for the rest of the season are winnable.
And you would get a huge fired coach bump.
No doubt about it. And especially if Mike Evans comes back healthy, he'll be back this week, maybe next week. You could catch fire at the end of the year. You could still make the playoffs. Hell, you could still win this division depending on what happens with the Atlanta Falcons. Really?
Look at their schedule.
Oh, is it that? Is
you
it
take
that
how
easy?
Yours is?
Yeah.
And theirs is a shred more difficult.
They don't have the Chiefs or the 49ers on their schedule.
No. Yeah. Theirs is what you just said for 9 games.
Okay. At that point,
because they got all that out of the way early.
You're right. But at that point, if you lose these next two games, then you're sitting there at 4-6. And then every game from there on out is winnable. So if you roll off all those wins, that's an 11-6 season, and you can make the playoffs.
The one I would say, I don't think this would happen, but I can walk you down the 3-step process of how it happens.
Okay.
Is Mike McDaniel.
Oh, okay.
If something happens to Tua Tagovailoa and this team loses, he's dead man walking. Because at the end of the day, he's going to be the one that's blamed for this. They're not going to look at the medical staff. They're not going to look at the GM. They're going to look at the guy that made the call and was out here saying, oh, we're only worried about his health and blah, 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 blah. As soon as you lost that game to Arizona, your season's over. Because you have several hammers left on the end of that schedule. You ain't making the playoffs. At this point, all you are doing is playing with fire. And if you get burnt, somebody's going to take the hammer for it. And Stephen Ross, it has shown time and time again that he is very impulsive.
Mm-hmm. I think Doug Peterson's pretty high on the list.
He's probably my 2. I just can't believe they would do it this season.
It is hard to believe, because what are you playing for? What hope do you have there?
That's why I have Todd Bowles so high, is that I think there is some strife in the organization with him.
Most definitely.
Because I think a lot of these people look around and they know exactly what he is, but he was handpicked by Bruce. You keep winning the division, but that first time that door opens, run.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to open. That door is going to get kicked open on Monday Night Football by the Kansas City Chiefs.
The question is, does it get ripped off the hinges and thrown in a dumpster against San Francisco the next week?
I hope it does. And then Mike McCarthy. It's unpredictable to me how this is going to end up, but the last 2 games, you got destroyed by Detroit. San Francisco was out of hand. You scored 2 late touchdowns in that game, and you still lost by a score.
We never said the most obvious one, which was Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Mike McCarthy and Zach Taylor.
You get the Atlanta Falcons, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Houston Texans, and the Washington Commanders in the next 4 games. They lose all 4 of those games, which they very well could. Mike McCarthy gone.
I phrased that in a weird way because I heard you say Mike McCarthy, and I was trying to get Zach Taylor in there too.
Yes,
both of those make sense, and we hadn't said either one of them up to that point.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. You have a question on this Threadbare Thursday? Throw it into the YouTube chat. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. We'll be right back.
FEMA is hiring people in Durham, Hickory, and Asheville to support North Carolina's Tropical Storm Helene recovery efforts. Many different positions are available for a wide range of skill sets, including planning, communications, logistics, and community engagement. Be a part of helping your community heal and rebuild. To see all open positions and to apply, visit usajobs.gov and type keywords FEMA and a local hire, and then enter your location as North Carolina.
Do you have a plan to vote yet? Election day isn't the first day to vote, it's the last. Now is the time to use your power and vote on the issues you care about most. So what are you waiting for? Take 5 minutes to make your plan to vote early now at whenweallvote.org. Again, make your plan to vote early at whenweallvote.org. Your voice is too important to sit this election out. Sponsored by Civic Nation.
O'Reilly! Protect your vehicle's engine with Mobil 1 Full Synthetic Motor Oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 Full Synthetic Motor Oil and get a $10 gift card after rebate. Find the synthetic oil that's right for your vehicle and budget. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
It is ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingles studio. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone.
Happy most overrated holiday in North America today.
Jeremy likes the underrated holiday, which is actually tomorrow when the candy goes on sale.
That's Halloween. I mean, y'all are doing Halloween wrong. Hey, we got to spend money on a costume and go door to door and ask Weird Herbert down the street for. Nope. You hit that Sevis. Your local Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
I love Halloween. I love seeing all the kids in their costumes come by the house and give them out some candy. Turn on a scary movie, and that's Halloween.
Can I tell you, it's probably the least surprising thing you'll ever hear in your life?
Never given out Halloween
Not
candy.
once.
I know.
Not once in my entire life.
Not. Of course not.
We buy it every year. No, I mean, we live in a condo now, so it's kind of hard to put your light on or whatever. But even when we had a house, we still didn't do it.
Yeah, but you didn't live in a place that had a neighborhood with kids.
We had plenty of kids in that neighborhood.
But at the top of that mountain?
Oh, yeah, but they went away.
Oh, yeah, of course they did.
It'd be kind of hard to ask your 5-year-old, all right, honey, we're going to have to hike back up this on the way. That's only like a mile and a half.
That was also the other reason that when I was a kid, we went trick-or-treating so many places, not only just to see the family around town, but everybody else lived in neighborhoods and we didn't. I used to live down on Old County Home Road near the George's Deli, and there's no other houses down there. So we would go around to West Asheville and do all those streets. Go on Vermont Avenue. That place is insane on a Halloween night. That's that's the kind of house that if you live there, you have to buy 17 bags of candy and hope you don't have to go get more before it's over.
Yeah, I don't want to live in a neighborhood like that. I'm good. I'll pass. Now we got people naming the most overrated holiday. Sir Jimothy said it's Labor Day. Labor Day is just a free day off as a last gasp at summer. It's not. I mean, it's a holiday, but it's a drinking holiday.
Yeah.
Of which, who's shocked? I like it. Patrick Holt said Valentine's Day. I don't consider that. That's not a holiday.
You don't get it off work.
That's a Hallmark.
Of course, Halloween you don't get off either. So.
Hallmark is going to hold your pocket for 48 hours. That's what that is. And they're going to mush your face in $180 in flowers.
Uh-huh.
I get it. We all do it.
That's another one of those for me. The best of that holiday is the day after. And I can go get the candy for cheap.
And that is another difference between Tank and Jeremy, because you're doing that holiday bad wrong.
We don't celebrate at Valentine's Day in my family.
Missing an opportunity there, friend.
Yeah, so Valentine's Day, I'm all aboard with Valentine's Day as the most overrated of the holidays.
Joshua Pinnock said New Year's.
No, I like New Year's.
I like New Year's because no matter how bad you get your teeth kicked in a year, you can go, next year's going to be better.
Yep.
I've said, I'm not saying that this year, straight up. I've said that like 5 years in a row, and it's almost like the powers that be and God are just going, challenge accepted. I'm going to mush your face 365 days.
Yep. Columbus Day. That's another one.
I mean, the holiday.
President's Day.
The holiday pecking order is Christmas 1, Christmas Eve 2, Thanksgiving 3, Thanksgiving Eve 4, Black Friday 5, 4th of July 6, and then the rest of it.
If it's a holiday that only car lots and furniture stores celebrate, then it's an overrated holiday.
No,
like this is
we get
the Labor Day extravaganza. Come get 3 couches.
I like Patrick Holt's line. If you get it off work, it's not overrated. Probably a reason that I don't love Halloween, because you don't get it off.
Yeah, maybe so.
Why do we make a big deal about Halloween, but we've never fought to get it off? I mean, I'll be honest with you. We give you...
Because you'd want the day after off. That's why. You'd want Halloween. You'd want to work Halloween so you could go to the Halloween party or have a libation or two on Halloween night and then have the next day off. It's like the Super Bowl. Like having...
I don't know. If we got the whole day off, oh Lord. You make the party on... Look.
No, because then you got to get up and go work.
Leave it up to the pro drunk here, okay? You have the adult parties on the 30th. You have the 31st off to spend with the kiddies and giving out the candy and all that. You can recuperate the day of the 31st. You get off work. You make it a 2-dayer. You make it a 2-dayer, and you have a
little much if it falls during the week, though.
I mean, not if you have your big girl panties. Maybe you should trade in your Spider-Man underoos at this point in your life.
As Jeremy found out firsthand this morning, I get here real damn early, and
I came walking in, and I went, "It's that time." Where
we should tell you all what Jeremy's going to do after this show's over.
I may curl up under my desk and just
night. Be done with it.
I had one of those nights where I worked to a point where I went, well, there's really no point in going home because I didn't know it was that time. There's one window in here. It has 2 speeds. Sun is burning your retinas out like it is right now, or it goes away and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the morning look exactly the same.
Fire away your questions in the YouTube chat for this Threadbare Thursday. Any football questions that you have, we will try to get to all of them. If you posted one earlier that we haven't gotten to, do me a favor and repost that. Throw the question back into the chat because my screen has updated here and I can't get back to the top of the chat. So if we haven't hit one yet, just throw it back in there and we'll get to it down the line here.
YouTube boo-booed the algorithm, and so now the page refreshes every 15 minutes, and it cuts off a lot of the chat. So it's harder to get to down the line.
Joel Osteen says Joseph, not Joel. Joseph.
I was about to say, that's a weird name to be watching this shit.
Although, Joseph, if you've never gone as Joel Osteen, that could be a good Halloween costume.
If you don't have a tub of Kool-Aid, you're doing it not as good as you should be.
He asks, Tank Jeremy, who in the hell is going to outscore the Lions?
Once or consistently?
I don't think anybody will do it consistently.
I agree.
I feel like maybe Baltimore would be one of those that could outscore them.
The problem with Baltimore is they match up splendiferously with Baltimore.
Splendiferously.
Baltimore's line's not all that good.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact I don't have a consistent edge rusher that's going to win, I can also throw DJ Reader in the middle and go, hey, Derrick Henry, you don't get to see many people that are bigger than you in this league, but we got one.
That guy is.
We got one, and your center is a tiny little feller. He's super skilled, but he looks like a little kid next to DJ Reader.
The Commanders, the problem
with the Commanders is they'd give up 70 points to that offense.
But I feel like they could still outscore them.
I don't.
On their best
Score
day.
With them, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But outscore them, that's where it comes in. Their defense has improved to such a point that it can contain you. It doesn't have to stop you. This goes back to the Rams days. When the greatest show on turf was happening, those defenses in large part were not awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just good enough. And then they wound up with Aeneas Williams and all these different bit players that could bend and not break. Nobody ever talks about that. But those Rams teams, they scored 1 billion points and they led the league in offense. They were one of the worst defenses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But they could contain you just enough. Keep you out of the end zone. You kick field goals. I score touchdowns. I smoke you like a deli.
They could. I mean, they could go nose to nose with you. What was it? Was it the NFC Championship game, or maybe it was the divisional game before the NFC Championship game where they played the Bucs, and it was 9-0 was the final score. 9-3 was the final score, something like that. That was before the Bucs won the Super Bowl, obviously, and the Rams would go on to win the Super Bowl. Or at least play for it in that season. They could get into a defensive battle with you every now and then. As far as other teams that could outscore them, I mean, you might find it out this week. Green Bay with Jordan Love, depending on how healthy he is, I could see them outscoring Detroit, getting a win out of that game.
He's not healthy, and you want me to tell you how I know that? Let me see if this has changed since the last time I looked. Detroit's a 3.5-point favorite in Lambeau.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you everything you need to know about what Vegas thinks you're getting out of Jordan Love or Malik Willis.
Right. So, no one's doing. Long answer short, no one is outscoring Detroit routinely. There are a couple of teams that could here and there. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The Halloween Spectacular continues after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With sun breaking through this afternoon and winds up from the south, the high should hit 74. And then for trick-or-treaters venturing out for Halloween tonight, a partly cloudy sky, winds will diminish, and overnight the low should drop down to 56. Clouds will increase on Friday with an isolated shower a possibility as the high hits 74. And then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures each day should reach the low 70s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I was super successful, and I
recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Toward the end zone, Bryce fits it into Leggett for a touchdown, and Xavier Leggett does the dollar bill dance.
Hey, this is Anish Shroff. Join me, Jake Delhomme, Luke Kuechly, and Kristen Balboni Sunday as the Panthers are back home to take on the New Orleans Saints. Pre-game comes your way at noon, kickoff at 1 on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
Panther football, live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN Asheville, where we bring sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and let's get weird, New Zealand. Story out of Wellington, New Zealand, where the local community, apparently there's some in it that are upset because an art installation, I guess we'll call it, that has been there for a while, has been taken down. And honestly, it is probably the scariest damn statue I think I have ever seen. It's a 16-foot tall, 5-meter wide human hand sculpture where it's standing on top of the roof. It looks like Thing from the Addams Family. It's just the cut off at the wrist. It's standing on 2 fingers, and there's a human face carved into the back of the hand. So imagine like the hamburger helper guy when he was naked in the shower. Like
New Tank comes up with some weird analogies.
I mean, think about it. There's a hand with a face on it, but it's just like a naked human hand with a face on the edge of it. It's the goofiest looking statue I think I have ever seen.
When you say,
and I can't believe that anybody would be upset that this disturbing piece of quote unquote art would be taken down.
When you said it was the scariest thing you'd ever seen, I thought it was going to be a picture of another Joe Biden coronation, inauguration speech. Joe, this next 4 years, we're going to play with the dogs and eat hamburger helper and have a nap.
Baby helper.
I don't even know this baby. My story comes out of Maryland. It's from a NAFCO. And I'm not going to tell you what NAFCO is because that's part of the story.
Okay.
An employee at the NAFCO building decided they were going to do something nice. They were going to make lunch, a little community lunch for everybody in the building. That led to over 50 employees going to the hospital with food poisoning. Apparently, Shirley decided she was going to whip up a batch of her homemade chili con queso or something. I don't know what it was. It doesn't say. I searched the interwebs trying to find out what the dish was. I have a theory, and you'll find out when you find out what NAFCO is.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, that's chili with cheese.
Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
46 adults the day of the meal reported feeling sick and displayed symptoms of food poisoning. They were all transported to nearby hospitals, listed non-critical condition. NAFCO put out a statement, said the poisoning was caused by food brought by an employee. They cooked it at their home. They brought it into the building, and in their community kitchen, they reheated it, and maybe there was some contamination.
Okay.
NAFCO wishes those affected a safe and speedy recovery. The Howard County Health Department investigation has preliminarily determined that an employee prepared food at his home over the weekend, ultimately serving the homemade food to fellow employees who became sick yesterday. Now, what is the worst thing that NAFCO could be?
That they could be?
What is this employer?
Oh.
What does this building do?
Makes medical equipment.
No,
I don't know.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
This is worser.
Okay.
And yes, I said worser on purpose.
I don't know.
They are a wholesale seafood distributor. That's a bad look.
Yeah.
That's a bad look that old George decided to whip up a little gumbo. Might have forgotten to cook the shrimp. My bad. And I made 4 dozen people sick. How angry are you at like to say it happened here?
Oh.
And Mark Starling whipped up a pot of chili and everybody got the scoots.
Never again.
I'll never let you hear the end of it. Ever. Ever. And I'm going to call you Emerald Lagasse for the rest of your life.
Bam!
Yes, chef! Every time, anytime you said something to me, yes, chef. Hey, look, I've cooked for everybody here more than once. Ain't nobody ever gotten sick. Now, I usually make chili, so, doesn't always end great. Let's not go there's anything wrong with food.
I like it when you do that voice.
I laughed at this story really hard because I could not stop thinking about this happening here. And if it happened here, I could not get away from the cook in this scenario. If you had to pick the one here that would do that, who is it?
Oh, of everybody in the building?
Everybody that works here. Actually, you know what? I'll save you the anguish of having to out somebody here.
Yeah.
Mine was you, and I didn't think about it twice.
What?
You're a good cook.
Yeah, I am.
But if there was somebody that boo-boo kittied and had some shrimp that maybe was going close to getting bad, and I'm going to feed it to everybody at iHeart, it would be you 100 times out of 100.
Tank made chili, but he got it from the discount rack.
Tank made shrimp gumbo, and the shrimp were purple. I'm worried about it.
Okay, I could see how your mind got there. I am a very good cook, though, and I would never do that to strange people. If I think it's even close to questionable, I'll eat it myself.
I'll feed it to my family. That was what you wanted to say right there.
No, I wouldn't even let them eat it. I'd be like, you know what, guys, this may not be great, so I'm just gonna, because I cannot tell you when the last time I got sick from eating something was, and I have had several times where Jeremy has gotten sick from eating the same thing I ate. So, like, I believe it's, the leaving of the deli sandwiches in my car for 3 days and then eating it. Like, things like that have made me impervious to botulism and all of the things.
Oh yeah, any virus that's bacteria borne, you're good.
Yeah,
I'm convinced your blood is part of moxicillin at this point.
It very well may be.
I've seen you eat things that I wouldn't have fed that to a dog. I left this sandwich in my car over the weekend. What's it got on it? It includes a lot of ingredients that don't matter. Ends with mayonnaise. And you ate it? Yeah. Temperature-wise, what are we talking about? Way hotter than you want it to be. I won't even eat at Long John Silver's. Oh.
Just on principle?
Oh, I got food poisoning.
Oh, you got sick there once?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's never happened to me.
That's why I have a rule about fish. If I can't comfortably get to a place where that fish could have come out of, I ain't eating it.
Mm-hmm. The only time that's ever happened to me in my life, I deserved it because, Tank, what gave you the scoots after you ate it? Goat stew. Well, I mean, why the hell did you eat goat stew in the first place? Look, it was, when in Rome, right? It was in the Dominican Republic when they say goat stew. I went, okay, yeah, I'll try it. You eat it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not one of those.
I'll experience your culture.
I'm not one of those adventurous people. Every restaurant on the planet has a good old chicken tender, and you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. Stephen Tao, also he gets points because he says not many folks of Tank's stature are bad cooks. Precisely. I got this way for a reason.
He's not wrong.
Right. This and the, 4 trick-or-treating trips every Halloween.
I did think that was a low-key banger of what you said there, which was, we went trick-or-treating 4 times in the same year. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Needed that candy, eh?
Oh, yeah. I would come home with bag upon bag upon bag.
All right, we'll do this quick, and we won't we won't make it an official daily draft.
Okay.
We'll just banter for a couple minutes and then get back into sports.
Okay.
Prime Halloween candy is what?
Oh, well, my favorite is the Reese's
anything.
Pumpkin.
I don't care. I don't care if it's pumpkin.
Well, I like the pumpkins because they're big.
I don't care. I don't care. You know what? You could go and hit the Christmas trees early. I don't care. You give me leftover hearts from Valentine's Day. I don't care. Reese's Cups do not go bad. You know why? Because if you have them in your house, people will eat them within 6 months.
They don't last long.
They don't last because they're awesome. I've never in my life met a human that said, I really don't like Reese's. Never met that guy.
Nope. The Reese's is my number one. And you could really go, as he said, you could go Reese's 1 through 10. All of the different factions of the Reese's. You got the Reese mini cups, you got the big cups, you got the pumpkins, you got the witches, you got all of the things. I always like the Russell Stovers because, go ahead.
If you're going to cheat on somebody's wife, make sure you do it with Russell Stover chocolates.
Those individually packed, like there's the chocolate one, and there's the caramel one, and there's the marshmallow with the caramel, and then there's just the marshmallow, and it comes in all the holiday shapes. Those things, phenomenal. And if you'll just wait, let's see, what's today is Thursday. So if you wait until Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and you go to your local chocolatier, also known as Sivas.
Or Ingles Supermarkets.
Or Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And when the Halloween candy gets knocked down to about, 70% off, you can buy a whole bunch of them for $1. And they're lovely.
See, to me,
it's the best chocolate, too.
And every time we've ever talked about this, I feel like you do this wrong.
Why?
There are 2 correct answers. Reese's and Twix.
Twix
Those are the Rolls-Royce and the Mercedes-Benz of all candies. And if you want to be the cool neighbor and have yourself a little a team of heathens to mow your grass and do things like that, give out the full size. All you got to do, buy like 40 of them. You can buy them for $1 a piece if you're forward thinking enough.
Yep. Butterfingers. Butterfingers are next in line for me.
I don't love the Butterfinger.
Why?
It's in your teeth.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced that whatever's in the middle of that's made of wall spackle. It tastes good.
Probably.
But I don't know what that is in the middle. But it is, Lord have mercy, it's tough on your teeth.
Starburst
and M&Ms and Skittles. Those fall into like a tier for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the eclectic ones.
Okay.
Airheads. Full-size Airhead, you can buy like 100 of them for 27 cents.
That you can. Kind of takes me back to middle school.
For sure. And the best Airhead, you know what? You buy a big bag of the full-sizers, you give out 3, kid wraps them together, you got a treat that's hard to beat right there.
Yeah, that's true. Sour Patch Kids. I'm a big fan of the sour candies.
They're fine. Underrated Halloween candy. I have two.
Oh, was that that was a question?
Underrated Halloween candy.
Ooh, underrated Halloween candy.
I think because universally we can say if you're giving out anything with coconut, you suck. Just don't do that. Almond Joy, Mounds, Seacrest out.
Nah, see,
I can do the Almond Joy. Mounds, just gross. I can deal with an Almond Joy because I do enjoy almonds. But don't give that. That's not a Halloween. Crackle, also acceptable candy, not on Halloween. All right, this is Candy Super Bowl. We stick to the classics.
First one that always comes to my mind is Rolos. I love caramel.
And you
put caramel and chocolate together. That's my kind of day.
I hate caramel.
Give me one of yours.
The Three Musketeers is grossly underrated.
Ooh,
I've always said that is a grossly underrated candy.
I wouldn't even. I mean that'd be close to my top. Like I don't think that's underrated.
Baby Ruth, grossly underrated. And don't give me that crap about Payday. Well, Payday is just is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Baby Ruth is better. You know it.
They are. You're not wrong. But I do love a good Payday.
And then the Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, the Jolly Rancher.
The Jolly Rancher is a nice treat in a Halloween bag, but don't be stingy with the Jolly Ranchers. We're not going 2 Jolly Ranchers. That's how you wind up with an egg in your bedroom window.
Mm-hmm.
We go handful of Jolly Ranchers because those fill into the candy bowl. Let's hang around for a minute.
My other underrated only really applies to children because I haven't really liked this candy since I was a child, but I can remember loving the fact that I would get home from my 4 trips trick-or-treating and I would have about 800 blow pops.
I do like the blow
pops.
And
I loved the blow pops. I would save all of the strawberry ones for myself.
I like the grape ones. Strawberry was the best of them.
And then I would take the rest of them and sell them at school. Which I only got busted 17 times doing that. You could pretty much guarantee after every Halloween, Tank was going to end up in the principal's office for selling candy to other kids because, well, I went 4 times and I had way too much candy. And,
I'm more shocked that the person I've seen that was Tank Spencer circa 1995 ever thought there was such a thing as too much candy.
It wasn't too much.
Because
it's never too much candy. It's just I have a surplus and I see a need, fill a need. There are other kids at school that need candy, and Tank likes quarters.
And that's sweet and all. But Tank saying, I have too much candy circa mid to late 90s would be like mid to late 2000s. Jeremy saying that strip club had too many naked ladies in it. And I really wish they would have had less. Those two things make about equivalent sense to me.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, as being Jeremy, that second thing was never said.
It was never said, not once. Yeah. Nobody is surprised by that.
It'd be a lot better if they had there's upholstery in here.
It'd also be a lot better if you had more money in your pocket. And you could have more money in your pocket with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. The NBA season has begun. It is finally back. And if, you think that you're good at guessing who's going to score the most points, who's going to be grabbing the most rebounds every night, get behind your favorite players and the prop bets that you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. If it's your first time, new DraftKings customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download it now and use the code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball. When we come back, top of the hour break, it'll be time for the real daily draft of the day, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. We're going to do Halloween scary movies coming up next.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNC has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Asheville Smiles has been featured in national publications like Good Housekeeping and Woman's Day. And check out this 5-star Google review. My dental experience was wonderful. I cannot say enough about Dr. Merrill and her amazing team at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry. Dr. Merrill took time to explain everything. She made me feel relaxed and confident that I was in good hands. I apologize for those tears at your office. Those were tears of joy. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Dr. Merrill, for the hope to get my smile back. Check out Asheville Smiles online at ashevillesmiles.com.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is where it starts, where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With sun breaking through this afternoon and winds up from the south, a high should hit 74. And then for trick-or-treaters venturing out for Halloween tonight, a partly cloudy sky, winds will diminish, and overnight the low should drop down to 56. Clouds will increase on Friday with an isolated shower a possibility as the high hits 74. And then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures each day should reach the low 70s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty, and I am so excited to let you know that my latest podcast interview is with the one and only Tom Hanks.
I have left many wonderful atmosphere or a loving atmosphere without thinking, oh, things were really wonderful back then. I wish I was back there. Jay, I don't think I've ever thought that.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search On Purpose.
StormPro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call StormPro Solution at 828-318-7096.
FEMA is hiring people in Durham, Hickory, and Asheville to support North Carolina's Tropical Storm Helene recovery efforts. Many different positions are available for a wide range of skill sets, including planning, communications, logistics, and community engagement. Be a part of helping your community heal and rebuild. To see all open positions and to apply, visit usajobs.gov and type keywords FEMA and local hire. Then enter your location as North Carolina.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
It's your chance at an inflation vacation. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. It is final hour of the program here on Halloween. Just the next big holiday in the
most
year.
overrated holiday we have, and it's not close.
Jeremy Greene, it is time
for you to get annihilated in a movie.
Smoke me like a deli meat, as you said earlier. Best Halloween scary movies daily draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. All right, let's have it. Hit me with your number one.
Best scary movie of all time.
Best scary movie of all time.
Silence of the Lambs is not even close.
Oh, wait. That was a pretty good one.
Oh, wait.
That's a pretty good movie.
That's the best scary movie of all time. You asked me earlier, has there ever been a movie that actually scared me?
Uh-huh.
I watched Silence of the Lambs when I was probably 10 or 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not going to lie, 11-year-old Jeremy was freaked out. I was not freaked out by Hannibal Lecter, though. It was Buffalo Bill that got me.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he was creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
That's the best line in any movie.
For sure. The day that I went, this could work, was like a year into doing this show, and you did that, and I went, I didn't think anybody ever noticed that but me.
Oh, wait. She a great big fat person.
I do love that guy actually talks that way. I didn't know that.
He does.
He was the captain in Monk.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I hear him talk, I just get I've watched like 6 seasons because I didn't watch that show live.
He was in another it was a cheesy ass movie, but the Joyride movie with Paul Walker, and he played the truck driver that was hunting them down. I think it was like Lily Sobieski was in that movie with him and Steve Zahn. It was a cheesy, scary movie, but it wasn't bad, and the voice just made it creepier. That voice coming over the candy cane. Oh, candy cane.
I've always thought, my thought on Buffalo Bill is I would like to just hang out with that guy for a day, just because I would like to hear that creepy voice doing normal, ordinary things. I'll take a quarter pounder meal, large, with a sweet tea, please.
It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Do you have any Velveeta cheese for my macaroni? I really like that creamy Velveeta.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, these are the things I think about on a daily basis.
Yes. Okay.
I need to take some pants to get hemmed. The pleat's all wrong.
Silence of the Lambs, very good. That one would not have come back to you.
For sure.
So great choice.
I was originally going to give you the number one pick, but you deferred to me.
I just wanted to see where your head was at.
Oh, that's number one with an absolute bullet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to lose two that I'm probably going to be sad about, and then you're going to get into Goof Troop. I know how this is going to happen. I have no doubt how this is going to happen.
The one that got me as a kid was The Shining. That's my number one.
That's a good one.
Stanley Kubrick, great artistry in the film. It was not like the book, so if you're a Stephen King book person, we all know that the story's not right. It doesn't matter. It was a great movie.
Can I have like 10 seconds here?
Sure.
If you're a person that ever goes, the book was better, we all hate you, okay? Just you know what? The book's not ever better because the book's in my imagination, and I don't have a very good one.
Oh,
you know what's
well,
awesome? CGI, blowing up buildings and things like that.
Good.
It's fun because I don't have to think.
But in this instance, when they change the whole story of the movie, that's when I have a problem. Like, because I mean, Scatman Crothers got killed in the movie. He was the hero of the book. He was the one that saved the day, and they killed him in the movie. It is a pet peeve of mine, but it's a great movie.
Yeah, you know what the movie had? Blood running out of the elevator, and that creepy little girl going, "Tommy isn't here, Mrs. Torrance." Awesome. The book was better. No, it wasn't. Danny. Sorry.
Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
Kid's creepy.
Red Rum.
That kid's creepy, too.
He's very creepy. All right, and then
I can't wait to hear what this is.
It's Halloween. The original Michael Myers.
Secret Time?
Hated it.
I didn't like any of them. I think it's the same movie, lather, rinse, repeat.
Of course it is. That's why you take the flagship movie and go, that was awesome. And then the rest of it got worse every time they did it. There were some sequels that were better than others, but for the most part, none of them stack up to the 1978 original. I mean, the Rob Zombie remakes were good, but they were very, very intense, and you can't really enjoy that. Like,
I can
kids,
enjoy that.
No. But what I'm saying is, you can't enjoy that as a family, right? Like, I'm still not at the point where I can sit down with my kids and watch it and feel comfortable because it's Rob Zombie, and they're 13. There are only so many Fs that I can take sitting in the same room with my children. However, love the movies. So I got The Shining and Halloween.
You left me 2.
Okay.
So this worked out perfectly for me because I got my 1 and 2. You did take my 3, though.
Mm-hmm.
The Exorcist.
Okay.
Just absolutely as good as it gets. That movie didn't freak me out as bad as I thought it would. I watched it younger than you would want me to.
Mm-hmm.
And it took, that was back when DirecTV, you could buy movies on demand and things, when that first started. And it was right around Halloween, and that one popped up, and I stared at that screen for 5 days, going, "Am I going to hit this button? Because that little kid's kind of weird. I don't know about that." And then you actually watch it, and your mother shops at Penny's.
Well, plus you had all the ancillary stuff around it, like the urban legends about how everybody that worked on it died. Right? Wasn't that The Exorcist, or am I thinking of Poltergeist?
Say it again.
Where the story was that everybody involved in the movie died at some point.
That was Poltergeist.
Oh, okay, that was Poltergeist.
Yeah,
See, that part of the story was creepier to me than the movie.
Yeah, the little girl. That's a super sad story.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's which one will not get back to me. In this, I have to play you just as much as I have to. I'm going to go Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Just because I think that, to me, that is the most perfectly written to really freak somebody out. That the villain's haunting your nightmares, and it's Freddy Krueger. And
there's no escape because eventually he's going to get you because eventually you're going to go to sleep.
To me, if you go the Mount Rushmore of scary movie villains, Freddy Krueger's number one.
Yes.
Because Michael Myers and
Jason
Voorhees are the same guy. They just have a different backstory slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't be killed, which stop with that. It's got to be killable. It can't just keep coming back 58 times.
I was going to say, doesn't that make it
To
good?
me, it makes it way less.
The fact that Freddy never dies. I mean, I guess he did in the end, but
for sure.
Did he? They brought him back, though.
Well, they brought him back for more movies.
There was like Freddy's Dead,
but
and then there
at
was
the
like
end of
6 more after that.
At the end of every Friday the 13th and every Halloween, there's Michael or Jason, and the eyes are open, and they're back. Yeah, I've watched this movie 8 times.
Right. Nightmare on Elm Street, that's a very good one. It. The new ones. The new ones are probably you asked me before the show started, when was the last good scary movie made? And it's probably the It movies.
That creepy dude that plays Pennywise is
Stellan.
I can't even see him like without the makeup and not go, you're weird.
Is it Stellan Skarsgård?
I know his last name's Skarsgård.
Yeah. He's one of the. Yeah.
His eyes freak me out. As does his weird little smile.
Oh, it was so good. The cast was awesome.
Oh,
the kids
phenomenal.
that were in the first one were great, and then the adult cast that they got for that with the guy from Saturday Night Live. I can't remember his name. The real skinny guy from Saturday Night Live that played the comedian.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah. Professor X was in it as well.
It's a very good movie.
Very good movie.
You all flow down here, Georgie.
I almost want to do It number 2. Or can I take them together?
You cannot take them together.
Cannot take them together.
Solely because you have so many franchises that have like a bajillion movies.
Yeah, I guess
that was the reason that we kind of made the rule of you got to take them. I mean, if you want to take it,
I got to take Poltergeist. I mean, because you just cannot watch that movie without thinking of all of the other things. And the movie was pretty creepy itself. The little girl in front of the television and everything spinning around the room, and that was wild.
Oh, it was certainly well done. I will go Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one.
Ooh, I never.
1974. That one is. Whoa. That's one of those movies that it's so old, and you watch it now, and everything is kind of ratty by comparison and it fits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually like old movies. That one gets better with time because it almost becomes like a timepiece. And you've got a villain that's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
You do weird stuff, and I don't like it. This is where I think we take a hard right turn.
Probably.
Because you're not going to like my next selection.
Okay.
I think it is one of the most masterfully written series ever. But I have to take one movie, and I'm taking the original.
Don't you do it.
Saw.
Oh, okay.
I think
that was a great one.
That was so different than every other scary movie because it wasn't, hey, look, we've got this Terminator that you can shoot 57 jillion times and he never dies. No, it's a creepy old dude. Sorry, spoilers. It's been out 22 years. I think we're fine. It's a creepy old dude that just has cancer. It's like trying to torture people.
And that was one of those
but you just can't get to him. That, to me, that is so much creepier than all of these other things put together.
And they had the puppetry with the little doll that came out and rode the tricycle or whatever, and the creepy. You talk about a creepy voice. That's like an all-timer creepy voice.
I want to play it.
I love movies where the bad guy wins. That's one of my.
In horror movies. I agree with you.
Right, and some normal. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Usual Suspects. Movie with Kevin Spacey where he plays the handicapped guy in the bank robbery story. and they spin the story all up into this fictitious character that's running all of the mob, basically, the Turkish mob, Kaiser Soze. And then in the end of the movie, spoiler alert, it is 30 years old. At the end of the movie, Kevin Spacey is actually the mastermind and walks away. Is a great ending to a movie. Saw was much like that. You got to the end of the movie and went, oh, when he got up off the floor,
oh yeah,
I was flipping out. No way, he's been there the whole time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then every movie had an element of that.
Yes,
because there were all these twists and turns, and then you get to the end and you go, okay, we've taken so many turns here now that I'm not real sure I remember where we started. But I get why they made 9 of those or 10 of those.
I think they did make 10 of those. They were pretty bad after 5, but they had 4 solid ones to start out that franchise.
I would say they had the best 3-movie run of any horror series because there was you didn't regress at all from 1 to 2 to 3. 4 was where it started. 5 got a little kooky, and then from there it was like, hey, that's Chris Rock. Why? Or stop that. Don't do that. That's weird.
Oh, there's so many selections, so many ways that this could go. But every Halloween, there are 2 movies that I have to watch, and I haven't watched either of them yet, so it means I'm going to have to watch both of them this evening.
Hot.
The first one is The Omen. Do you even know what The Omen is? Okay, thank God.
Damien.
Yes. And Damien, The Omen 2, that's one of those, I'm pretty positive the sequel was better than the original. So I'm actually going to not take The Omen. I'm taking Damien, The Omen 2. It's the one where he's in military school and then he comes home and kills his brother or cousin or whoever it was. Anyway, so I'm going to take Damien, The Omen 2, and then the last one that you laughed at me about, but I still maintain it's one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. It's The Strangers. The Strangers movie with Liv Tyler, and I don't know who that guy is that was in the movie with her, but the people, like, they're in a house and the people break in the middle of the night, and first they mess with them for an hour of the movie. And
the
then,
premise was so good, I just didn't really like how that movie was executed.
And then this is one of those movies that not only did I think it was pretty good, but it also scared the bejeebers out of my wife. And as we were watching it the first time, I just knocked on the headboard out of the blue in the middle of the movie, and she jumped up like she had been shot. And she still does it every time, and it never fails. She knows at some point in that hour-and-a-half movie, I am going to knock on something, and it still scares her. So I get quite a bit of joy out of torturing that poor woman.
All right, so that puts it on me for the last one?
Yeah, last one.
We're going to do a horror movie draft where Friday the 13th was never selected.
Yes. I never liked any of the Friday the 13th movies. I love the character, and the character's iconic and cool and all of that. I never liked any of the movies.
I couldn't pick a movie because there wasn't one that separated itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm trying to decide which of the 2 in the series that I want to pick. They were both really good. I will go House of 1,000 Corpses.
See, and this is why me and Jeremy can be best friends.
That is...
Because I had not thought of that just yet, and I wish I had now.
Have you ever looked at who was in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's got Walton Goggins in it. It's got Rainn Wilson in it.
I watch it every year.
It is. That was the one where I went, Rob Zombie, I don't like your music, not even, nary a little bit. But you making movie picture shows?
Mm-hmm.
I watched a Halloween that he did, and I don't even like that series because I went, I'm in. Let's see what you do here because you're screwed up in the head.
He does good. He does good freaky out, gory movies.
So good.
Love them.
I feel
even
like
The Devil's Rejects. I mean, that one was so off the rails. It was just...
The end scene of that with Freebird playing background. Oh, that's like top 5 greatest movie endings ever.
It is.
I feel like we should mention Terrifier here at some point.
Who?
You haven't seen any of the Terrifiers?
No, I haven't.
That's the one with
That's
that
the one,
weird
the creepy
little clown
that's all over Facebook. Yeah.
I can't call that a scary movie because it's so over the top
Mhm.
and so absolutely ridiculous that it's not that I find it funny. I see people say that and I'm like, oh, you're on a list with the government somewhere. But I can't put that into like this.
Yeah.
Stephen Tao asked how I took House over Devil's Rejects. I'll be honest with you. It was the hardest decision I had in this. I was hoping to get both because I thought he was going to take one of the two I took last time. And so when I penciled it in, I went, well, I'm going to get them both. And we'll be good because they're two of my favorites ever. And then I had to pick between my two favorites. And that wasn't fun. But I had a feeling he was looking at lists and he wasn't going to think of that because those never appear on this list.
No, they
ever.
do not. They do not, and that's what I was doing. I was just trying to think like, what is the next? And I've scrolled through 164 films on this list that I'm looking at. Not one mention of a House of a Thousand Corpses, and that is wrong.
That's why you have to find. And look, I don't love most publication magazines. Variety,
undrafted free agent pick.
Oh, then I'll go Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects. Mine is going to be Blair Witch Project.
That's a solid one.
Because I'm telling you, a lot of people did not get that movie. And I will tell you, every one of those people that did not get that movie or thought it sucked has never been out in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night by yourself. It is one of the scariest feelings you will ever have. And at every twig break, every grunt from an animal, every shift of the leaves, good Lord. And that movie it changed the game for me.
I will be honest, I did not love that movie, but I respect the premise of
and the marketing,
how you shot it and how you marketed it. There were people for 10 years that thought that was
legit,
super legit.
Yeah.
I never did solely because I've used cameras for much of my life.
I was going to say you also had a computer.
I did. And now you got to understand,
I didn't.
The internet was like,
I didn't. When I saw it, I thought it was real because I had seen all of these fake news reports that people had showed me on their computers and stuff. The truth was out there. I just didn't have the access or the ability to get on Netscape and prove that it was wrong. Didn't take me long to figure out, no, it's not real.
I knew the sound was too good.
Yeah.
And that kind of burned it for me, but I respect what went into it in the way that you made it.
Mm-hmm.
So very solid. I cannot say that I dusted you in that. I do think I won, but
I think it's pretty close.
It was certainly, that is one of the first times I will agree. I think we're both winners.
Yeah. There we go. Everybody wins on Halloween. It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Unless you go upstairs or you try to fornicate.
Don't
do not fornicate in
the
scary
rules.
movies.
Jamie Kennedy taught us that in Scream.
For sure. That's how you end up dead.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, if we were doing only cheesy Halloween movies, Scream would have to be up there somewhere.
Scream.
On that
the
list.
one that I think I feel like we left off, and somebody just said it, Stephen Tao. The Paranormal Activities were the original.
The first
and
one.
then it got kind of goofy towards the end because you can only do that so many times.
Right.
But that was another one that the premise of that is so good.
Yes. All right, it is the Sportsocracy. It is a Threadbare Thursday. You got a football question you want us, got a special topic you want us to talk about here for the rest of the program, just hit us up in the YouTube chat. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville.
Vacation, the beach, the mountains, the big city? We've got a better idea. An inflation vacation. Your chance to beat high prices with $1,000.
A $1,000 inflation vacation from ESPN Asheville.
Explore a career as a correctional officer. NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring with a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Becoming a correctional officer can be a rewarding first step along a criminal justice career. Visit dac.nc.gov/cojobs.
You're living with crime chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders? I've got exciting news for you.
Emmett Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
If you've ever thought about Botox treatment before, then your dentist might not be the first person that pops into your head. But at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, they are dedicated to the treatment of TMJ, and they use Botox for that. Botox can also be used to treat headaches that come from people grinding their teeth or clenching their jaws when they are stressed. So if you have more questions about Botox and you want to see if it's a good option for you, check out Asheville Smiles online at AshevilleSmiles.com. World-class dental care with a hometown feel.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you're in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. This is JW with Parks Fort Hendersonville, and I'm so excited to introduce our first Parks Promise community hero, the American Red Cross of Western North Carolina. The need for blood is so important, and in the summer months, the need is even greater. Did you know that you can donate every 56 days? Save lives this summer. Head to redcross.org to schedule an appointment or find a blood drive near you. Congratulations to the American Red Cross, our Parks Promise community hero.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, 13 Ghosts was mentioned in the YouTube comments. That was a very good, scary movie as well from, what was that, early 2000s?
I Know What You Did Last Summer was also mentioned. It had Jennifer Love Hewitt in it. It at least merits bringing up.
That's not as a, I don't know. That movie wasn't scary. It was just, I mean, we all knew why we were watching it. We all know why we watched Wild Things. We all know why we watched Cruel Intentions.
You know where that part is. Don't lie. There's no point. We're all friends here.
Right.
There's no judgment.
That was a decent cast, though. I mean, it had Matthew Lillard from Scream. It had the girl from American Pie. It had the dude from Monk. Yeah, Monk was in 13 Ghosts.
Oh! I still thought you were talking about.
No.
I was like, wait a minute.
No, 13 Ghosts. Anthony was in that. I call him Anthony because that was his name on Wings. He was the taxi driver on Wings.
Well, I mean, that's his real name too. It's Tony Shalhoub. His real name is Anthony.
Well, nobody calls him Anthony, I bet.
No, he's Monk.
Or Antonio. That's what it was. It was Antonio, the cab driver from Wings. Oh,
Wings.
Now I just want to go home and watch scary movies.
Wings. You talk about a low-key underrated series. Mm-hmm. That is a low-key underrated series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's somebody that's going, we haven't talked about a lot of sports today.
No,
well, if you look at the NFL schedule, you'll see why. And we have a Football Friday tomorrow.
We do.
We will get the Living the Dream tour back on track next week. So we are still working on the schedule. We have some things that we can announce, some that we're a little delayed in clearing. So,
yep, we got 2 weeks because I'll be out next weekend. So
I'm okay. I said that poorly. We'll get it back on track in that we will have the schedule out of where we're going.
Okay, there we go. We got you covered. Yeah, I gotta go to Charlotte for a wedding next weekend, so that's gonna be fun.
Back to Charlotte.
Yeah. It's just living the traveling life, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah. Buyers and sellers. We had the question asked earlier in the chat. Who's the biggest buyer right now?
The biggest buyer? I have to say the Detroit Lions. Because they're the team with legit Super Bowl aspirations that has not really gone all in, draft capital-wise, that I know is calling everybody. I've heard them attached to every pass rusher that even could potentially possibly be available. So that would make me that's the one I'm leaning to. There are a few that I think, if given the opportunity, would be buyers.
Okay. Who are they?
If it was easy enough to get a receiver, I would think the Houston Texans would be at least kicking the tires.
Okay.
Because losing Stephon Diggs, you lost a guy that has a very specific role. And I don't know that you have anybody to fill that. The other one I keep coming back to is the San Francisco 49ers. I just don't know what it would be.
I was going to say, where do you start? Of all the things that you need help in your secondary. You need help on the offensive line.
The offensive line has not really been as big a problem as people make it out to be. I still don't think it's good. They've been very lucky that they have not played necessarily some of the greater pass rushers in the league. I think that will be a bigger problem in the playoffs. Where things started to fall apart for me is when they lost Javon Hargrave. So if there was a wish version of him that you could go get, I kind of look at Javon Hargrave the same way I look at Aiden Hutchinson. It was so important for you to have that guy that not having him really unmasks a lot of problems. I just don't know who that would be. I don't know who is out there. I mean, Sebastian Joseph Day is obviously that's the name that makes the most sense.
Right.
But I don't think that's happening. I also don't think it fixes your problem.
I feel like there are too many moves that need to be made by San Francisco for that to be
They're
legit.
so all in that they have to be on a buyer's list. And I do find it funny, and I'm sure a lot of people think that, he's just celebrates being right all the time. Well, you would have to look at how much pushback I get on things. I've been calling the San Francisco thing for 3 years. I've been telling you, once this Band-Aid gets ripped off, there's no slowly make sure you don't rip any hairs off. Nope, it's all coming off because it's going to be ugly at best, and it is ugly at best.
If there's a corner on the market, the Washington Commanders, I feel like, need to be in on that.
They're just so invested already. Because that is an admittance of failure. And I mean, I'll be okay, and I'm going super pie in the sky here, and I'm doing it on purpose. If they were to add Sauce Gardner, does that make them a Super Bowl contender? Because I don't think so. I think you run into the problem if you've got a rookie quarterback that goes in and has to beat Detroit and has to beat Kirk Cousins and has to beat Philadelphia. It's a tall ask.
But is this a guy you can keep for a while? I mean, do you get a guy in the building that's on, last year of his contract and you have the chance to extend him, get him in the building and then extend him down the road? You're at a point now where, you're building for the future and you could very well own this division, but you don't know that to be fact.
I just don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody that's going to be a benchmark piece for you, you're going to pay through the teeth for it. And then you've got to extend the guy and pay the contract. And that's hard for me. I look at a team in Washington that was built so organically. And it is so easy for me to just say, just keep doing that.
Don't jump in line.
Yeah, don't. You've got 4 more years of Jaden Daniels as one of the great values in this league. pick your spots, nail your draft picks, build for the future, enjoy the ride this year, but you're looking at a Super Bowl a year or 2 years down the line. They can be the Houston Texans next year, and I believe that. I look at those two builds very similarly, but I don't see the need to jump out of line just yet.
What about Atlanta?
Atlanta's hard for me to say yes to. I don't disagree with the premise. Where I run into the problem is, what are you going to acquire? And the answer should be pass rusher.
Yep.
Is there any pass rusher? Let's say they got Max Crosby. Are you a Super Bowl contender?
No.
Exactly.
No, I don't believe you are.
Exactly.
But that's also a guy that you can keep around for a while and build
It
around
is, but you also got to realize Atlanta's on a weird timeline.
Yep.
Atlanta's on a weird timeline because they could be. Everybody looks at the Kirk Cousins contract. If they really believe in Michael Penix, that could be a seamless handoff, much like Green Bay was, where you haven't been a Super Bowl contender yet, but you've been really, really good. You just got to nail the draft because you got to keep things cost effective. And you look around that division, Carolina's 3 years away. I think the Saints are 3 years away, and Tampa Bay may be further than that because they're already kind of pot committed. Tampa was another one of the potential buyers for me. It's hard for me to roll over and die looking at the way this roster is built and knowing what's about to happen to it.
Right.
Because you're seriously invested on a lot of guys. You got one of the highest paid defensive tackles in the league. You got one of the highest paid left tackles in the league. You got a quarterback that is not on a value.
Highest paid safety in the league.
You got the highest paid safety in the league. A very highly paid receiver. Another one that comes into free agency this year. If you're planning on keeping him, you're going to have two of the top 15 or 20. It gets hard to keep all those guys, especially when I don't think you draft all that well.
Yep. Last one, L.A. Rams. I feel like they need to be a buyer because I feel like I said yesterday, the San Francisco 49ers, I ain't seen much out of them that makes me think that they're a juggernaut and I can win this division.
I don't. I'll tell you why. I would just have a real honest conversation with Sean McVay of where's your head at? Are these TV things going to pop up again as soon as Matt Stafford's out of the building? Because, look, this is not a Super Bowl build. All right. I mean, you can have good games. I think you could even be a playoff team. I never fully abandoned ship on the Rams. They were just so hurt. What I would be looking at if I'm the Rams is San Francisco's got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. I think Seattle does too. And I'm looking at Arizona, which has been a historically pretty poorly run franchise. That's my competition for the next 3 to 5. I've got a better coach than you. I've got an elite front office that has done a great job of pulling talent. I'm going to have probably the defensive rookie of the year in Jared Verse. And I don't think there's one move. I don't want to give up draft capital. Look what my guys do with draft capital. Look at what I've been able to add over the course of time with draft capital. So I'm going to I'm going to fill a hole with putty. Then what?
Yeah.
I still got to hang a picture back there next year. There's still a hole there. It looks pretty, but there's still a hole in that wall.
Yep. All right, Gambit fans got a question here we'll get to after the break. We'll take a quick one, come back here on a Threadbare Thursday, throw those topics, last-minute questions in the chat, plus we will preview tonight's Monday Night Football game as well when we return.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
With sun breaking through this afternoon and winds up from the south, a high should hit 74. And then for trick-or-treaters venturing out for Halloween tonight, a partly cloudy sky, winds will diminish, and overnight the low should drop down to 56. Clouds will increase on Friday with an isolated shower a possibility as the high hits 74. And then a dry weekend with a mix of clouds and sunshine both on Saturday and Sunday. High temperatures each day should reach the low 70s. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Election Day is right around the corner, and News Radio 570 WWNZ has you covered for the results on election night. Tuesday night, November 5th, starting at 6 p.m., tune in for complete election results coverage, local, state, and national races. Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. on News Radio 570 WWNC.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of healthcare insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people want to do more than just get by. You want to get ahead, and that's the future you deserve. And that is what I will focus on every day as your president. Paid for by Harris for President.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Curiosity will build us up. The Asheville Museum of Science is open for curious minds of all ages.
Play, explore, and discover dinosaur fossils, interactive space exhibits, and more. Support your community children's museum by visiting or donating today. AshevilleScience.org.
This is where it starts. Where your story begins. This is the trail you blaze yourself. And step by step, you get stronger, faster, better. This is where it starts. How will you finish? Angles, we're with you every step of the way.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and it's time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Plainfield, Connecticut. A man charged with reckless burning for letting a fire in Plainfield grow out of control. Police said 57-year-old Brian Connolly was taken into custody on Sunday. They said around 3:55 in the afternoon. They received multiple calls about smoke coming from the area of Moosup Little League Park on Lions Drive, and by about 4:05, while officers conducted patrol checks of the area, they said they saw heavy smoke coming from the backyard of 2 Lafayette Avenue. When they arrived at the home, they said they observed a roughly 50-square-foot brush pile that was lit in the fire pit. The fire had destroyed an approximate 40 to 50-foot section of a vinyl fence, and it also had damaged a neighbor's lawn, shrubbery, and other gardening tools. When they, of course, went and knocked on the door, the wife answered the door. And they said, "You realize there's a burn ban going on?" And she said, "Well, that's not my fault. That's my husband's fault." And they said, "Well, can we talk to him?" And she said, "No, he heard the sirens coming and went to the store." What kind of man sets a fire in his own backyard and then lets your wife take the heat? Literally. Both figuratively and literally. When the cops show up. It's not that he had warrants. He apparently just didn't want to deal with it. So he just picked up and went, honey, going out for smokes. I'll be back in a minute. You can deal with whatever siren that is coming down the road.
Gotta go. See ya. My story is one side thinks the other side's doing crimes, and I think the side with the fine is doing crimes. Russia apparently has a different way of doing fines. Because if you censor them in any way, they start to fine you. Well, Google has censored several Russian media outlets to the point they have banished their YouTube pages.
Mm-hmm.
So, Russia decided to start fining Google.
Oh, okay.
Well, every year that you don't pay the fine, according to Russian law, the fine doubles. They've been doing this for 8 years.
Oh.
The fine is now, according to the Russian government, which is, we'll say, a little quirky. What do you think the bill for Google has amounted to for shadow, and this isn't shadow banning, this is real banning, of Russian media news outlets?
And what was the original fine? Did you say?
I did not say.
You did not say. Okay. So the original fine for besmirching a Russian outlet.
7 Russian media outlets.
I will say the fine is at least $1 million. If it compounds every year for 8 years, it's got to be up, oh, good Lord. That's a lot. That's a lot of numbers. I'm going to go with $100 million, Alex.
$1 million would not pay the interest that this fine accrued since I started this story.
Whoa.
It's 2 undecillion rubles, which translates to $20.6 decillion.
That's not a real number.
No, it's not a real number. That is 20 with a comma and then 11 sets of zeros. Let me put allow me to put that in perspective for you. There is only $105 trillion in the world. That is 105 with 5 sets of zeros.
Mm-hmm.
You see the problem here? Let me put it into a slightly larger metric. Russia's fine of Google is 1.9 to the 10th power to the 15th time greater than the current global GDP. If Google gave Russia everything the world produced this year, the world produced in money, every day since the universe began, they would have paid 3% of that fine.
That's so Putin.
That's very Russia. Hey, you owe us 11. All I could think of was Dr. Evil. $100 billion. There's not $100 billion on Earth. $100 million. I'm not licensed to negotiate for Google. Tell you what, we'll send you a chicken Big Mac and call it good.
Yes.
Because that's about the closest you're going to come.
Or, Pooty Poot could just kill you. I mean, don't ever go to Russia. If you work for Google, don't ever go to Russia.
Or if you go to Florida State, going to Russia,
don't do those things.
I love Bert Kreischer so much.
Yes, we are aware.
He asked a question on his personal social media page the other day it was something completely off the wall, and it made me laugh a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is IBS really a thing? And I just responded with, no, it's a government conspiracy like the birds. And the last I looked, it had like 17,000 likes. I went, see, that's how you do things.
Gambit fan in the YouTube comments has a question here. He says, if any of the disappointing teams so far
New York Jets
went on a run and got 10-plus wins.
Not the New York Jets.
For example, the Cincinnati Bengals, Indianapolis Colts, Atlanta Falcons.
I don't consider the last 2 teams there to be disappointing.
The Colts and the Falcons?
No. The Colts are, I would argue, better than I thought you would be. The Falcons are, at this point, outside of the Chiefs, probably the biggest favorite to win their own division.
Mm-hmm. Would that change how you think of them? Or are they just ruining their draft spots by trying to win games?
Cincinnati has a very volatile perception. Atlanta, I know what you are. You're the prettiest girl in a dive bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you're the princess of this trailer park. You probably wouldn't fare well at Miss America. I don't think nothing Atlanta does short of crashing and burning and finding a way to not beat Tampa Bay in this division is going to change anything I think about them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a flawed setup that's good where you are. Cincinnati could go a lot of different directions. They could crash and burn and everybody gets fired. And then you tear this down to the studs and you've got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and not a whole lot else. I don't think that's how this is going to go. I also think they could add a run stuffer and simplify that defense a little bit and be a playoff contender. The AFC is really hard to get a grasp on right now because you've got so many teams that shouldn't still be in this hunt, but they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a fun little stat about the AFC. We have teams that have played 8 games. 8 games. Do you know how many teams in the AFC have more than 3 wins?
6.
8. Do you know how many have 3 wins on the dot? Almost half of the AFC is 2 and 5 or worse. You got 7 playoff spots.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't like I'm looking at the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts, 4 of the 9 teams I was just referring to, going, oh, yeah, those are juggernauts that you're not going to be able to touch. Cincinnati could happen in the AFC. In the NFC, there aren't a lot of teams that I would consider to be disappointing. I don't think Dallas is disappointing. They are to Jerry Jones.
They're definitely disappointing. For most of us.
To me, you couldn't have an IQ above salad dressing and look at that roster and go, yeah, that's winning the NFC.
No.
You just couldn't.
But you
I mean,
didn't
I'm sure
expect
Jerry Jones does, but Jerry Jones is out of his damn mind.
But I don't think there were too many of us other than you that expected that this could be a 5-win team.
And I don't, and I guess that's where I struggle. I don't know how people didn't see this.
Mm-hmm.
Your receiving core is complete hot garbage. Dan Quinn was what was keeping your defense together, and now you think Mike Zimmer's going to do it? I mean, Mike Zimmer fits this team like I fit in a dress. So it's hard for me to look at them and go, disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at their schedule and go, I'm not going to be shocked if they reel off 5 wins and they finish 8-9 or 9-8.
Yep.
Maybe slip into the playoffs and just get disintegrated again.
By the way, I did find a piece of cloth in Nashville big enough for you to actually have a dress made for you. And it was Jelly Roll's coat.
Sweet.
They had 2 of his coats hanging in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And those things, they're as big as your dresser at home. Massive.
When I met him, I'm not going to lie, I was like, that is the whitest human being I have ever met in my life.
They were ginormous. I was sitting there thinking, damn, I think I could fit 3 of me in that coat. Big guy. Anyway, congratulations again to him for losing all the weight. That's
for sure.
Hell of a job he's doing. I can't wait to see what he's going to look like after he said he was going to hit the weight room over the next year. All right.
I mean, for me, there's just not many. There are not many teams that I don't feel like I have a pretty decent lock on. You can make a run to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Almost half the league makes the playoffs. Being the 7 seed's not overly impressive, especially not this year, because you got to look at who that's going to be in each conference. You're talking about the Colts and the Broncos and the Steelers and one of these 2-win teams that's going to find a way to get up there. And I know it's going to happen.
I guess really when I hear things like this, like, will that change your opinion of this team if they win 10-plus games? Well, I mean, clearly it would change my opinion of Joe Falco if he's able to lead the Indianapolis Colts to a 10-plus win season.
Why would that change your opinion on Joe Flacco? He's been in this league for 16 years.
Yeah.
You know exactly what he is. He just did that with the Cleveland Brown team last year. Gardner Minshew was one horrifically awful play call away from doing it with this same team last year.
He was.
That should change nothing.
Yeah.
They're exactly who you think they are. They took the worst quarterback prospect I've ever seen and tried to shoehorn him in to be a franchise quarterback. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of 2-53, you're a borderline playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
You could be 7-10, 8-9, 9-8, 10-7. None of those things would shock me. If you're any better or worse than that, it's going to surprise me.
Yeah.
But that's who you are.
Yeah.
You live in purgatory.
Yeah, it would surprise the hell out of me if this Indianapolis Colts team won 10+ games, because I thought beginning of the season they were going to be 2-win team,
and they
3-win
and
team.
they get 4 games against the Tennessee Titans and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Sure. It would make me think that they're better, but my question is, at what cost? Going to the second part of his question of, I feel like at this point you're just kind of wasting draft spots. The more games you win because you're not competitive for anything. Am I saying you should go out there and tank? No, I think that's a stupid premise and you should win every game possible. But in the end, the truth still matters. What did you gain?
That's probably a topic that we could talk about tomorrow, after we see what happens tonight with my New York Jets, because they're really the definition of that. This draft class is weird. They're all weird and they're all different, but this one is so much different than we thought it was 2 months ago. I don't think that's as big a deal. I think that's why you see so many of these teams that are buying in, because in terms of elite prospects, there aren't many.
Tonight at 8:15 on Prime, New York Jets against the Houston Texans. New York is a 2.5-point favorite at home.
Houston!
Over under 42.5.
Over.
All right.
I don't know why this has. I'm not going to say it's a shootout. I think the offense for the Jets is going to be. This is a styles make fights. The pass rush for the Jets is going to get home because that offensive line for Houston's not great. And this being the first game, I've seen this game before. I don't think this Jet team is cohesive enough to take advantage of. They beat the bejesus out of Houston last year, and they were god awful. And it was this same exact setup. Houston comes to MetLife. That game, it was raining. C.J. Stroud got hurt in the third quarter. He had been hit 200 times. If you remember, that was the game he had like 85 yards in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Am I going to be shocked if that happens tonight? Nope. Because I've already read this book. I've seen that story, and I've seen it play out that way. I don't think the Jets are good enough.
Is this a field goal game?
No. It shouldn't be. Houston's that much better than the Jets. They should go into New York and pound the Jets. 2 things I do want you to remember. One is what I just said. These 2 teams literally did this the same time last year. It was the same boat of the Jets were completely out of contention. Houston was the darling of the NFL, and they came into MetLife and got smacked in the mouth. The other thing I will remind you is C.J. Stroud talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. If the Jets have any fight whatsoever, I think that's what Vegas is doing. The problem is they're just not watching this team closely enough. They're doing what I was doing 2 weeks ago. You can't be this talented and this bad. It's not physically possible. No, it is. The New York Jets can find a way, and they have found a way. And I'm not going to be shocked if they get smoked tonight.
We'll recap it all tomorrow on
Football Friday.
Right here on ESPN Asheville. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you then.
Do you need help recovering from the recent disaster? FEMA may be able to help, but you have to apply. In addition to the money for food, water, and medicine, you may be able to receive support for housing, home repairs, business supplies, school supplies, and more. If you are in a county approved for FEMA individual assistance, go to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Apply for disaster assistance today.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Now, sometimes it don't always work for an injury, but it practice makes it perfect.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
StormPro Solution is here to help you in your time of need, providing top roofing and water damage restoration services, tree removals, and storm damage assessments. Call StormPro Solution at 828-318-7096.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It's time to kick off the perfect tailgate and take your team to Ingles. Chips and guac made fresh in store every day. The best meat in town packaged fresh every day. And smiling faces giving you their best every day. Let's be real. In the South, football season is our favorite season of the year. There's a lot to smile about, especially with deals like these. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.